What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Trendy TV Tuesdays. And we're talking some British television with Peaky Blinders Season 1, Episode 4. And I'm joined tonight by the one and only Gord King, a.k.a. Papa Pumpkin. Gordy, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, doing well, doing well. It'll just be the two of us, and a more manly, intimate conversation here, along with everyone in the chat and those of you viewing
You
on the
realize
replay.
this means that before the season's over, Goodwin has to do one on his own now, because Vex
true.
has,
Vex
and
has
this is
done
me
it.
doing it.
Right.
So it's like we have to tell
next
Goodwin
week?
next week it's all you.
Yeah, Goodwin solo. Just Goodwin and I next week, and then the whole gang will come back. Although that means Vex gets 2 weeks off, though, and as a woman,
Well, I mean, it technically means all of us have gotten 2 off. Because I mean, if she was here for the one, yeah, we would all have gotten.
That's true. That would make sense, I suppose. So yeah, okay, yeah, I'll allow it. It was like, oh, well, it's just something. Let me light my cigarette, and something. Okay, but yeah, if you are catching this in a replay, which I've gotten some comments on some videos, which I appreciate some of the UK explanations in terms of watching this. So and some people in the chat. Hello, Jax. Hope you are doing well, my friend.
Have any like UK watchers dropped any C words on us or anything like that?
No, and I wouldn't be offended just because I understand it's kind of proper terminology. The C and the T words, the 4-letter words. What I'm referring to. But yeah.
Like I saw one person said like British TV, like they don't like to meander and stuff like that, and I was like, that's not what filler, like having information that fills in, that actually informs the story is not filler. That's not what filler is. So I don't think that aspect of it is cultural divide. I've seen plenty of British movies that do all that exceptionally well. So because to me it's like the problem is that there's so many different plot lines that they don't give you nearly enough information about, or so many characters they don't give you enough about. It's like it's just kind of this happens and this happens and this happens and this happens. So it's like you're having to keep up with a lot without a whole lot of build up to it and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't really buy the excuse that that's just a cultural thing. And I'm like, no, there's good storytelling, there's bad storytelling, and if you're not giving information, that's bad storytelling. It's like you do still have to justify what's all going on. If you leave the audience to fill in every single possible gap, then you're being kind of lazy. And that's not to say this show's like egregiously doing it, but I do think that there are times where things that should come off as a payoff don't really feel like a payoff. They just feel like another event happening.
Yeah, I don't think that. I just put up that clip just for future, but yeah, I don't think Peaky Blinders is filler, but it's just a matter of.
Well, I mean, that person was kind of trying to justify from an angle of the reason it moves so fast is because there's no filler, and I'm like, well, we're not asking for filler, we're asking for information that would inform the story. It's not the same thing. Filler is filler is when you're spending time on stuff that doesn't mean anything. That's filler. It's like nobody wants. Right. It's like I'm happy to see less filler and stuff, but we need to clearly define what filler is. Filler is when you're giving us stuff we don't need, and it's like we're asking for information that we actually kind of do need.
Yeah, and I think this episode is better than episode 3, and I think these next 3 episodes, including this one, is it gets things back on course. I mean, things start to kind of pick up more in this episode moving forward, which is good. I think the ratings from majority of people can kind of speak for itself here. But Waylon,
what up, Waylon?
My friend? What are we drinking tonight? I was gonna pour something, and I just not had the chance to do it yet. But afterwards, I will. And what's up, Dakota? It's Vex done it for 3 eps. No, she has a job to do as a woman. So,
Drinking
understandable. She had to make some sandwiches and, do some cleaning and some editing,
Bite
and
off
some
some
recording.
palmettos.
Yeah, right. Apparently one of the palmetto bugs had followed her up to Canada, hidden in her luggage somehow. And I'm like, look, palmetto bugs are sneaky little creatures. They'll go underneath your cupboards and in cracks and crevices that it only makes sense that it found its way through some sort of suitcase and it stayed there until it found the right time to try and spread its way to cross your room and infest your house. But I think she killed it. So her killing streak is still on pace. I don't think she did anything weird with it by like freezing it this time.
This is filler, by the way. Just so
this is filler. Yes.
Y'all want to know what filler is? This is a good example.
Gemma Lama! I'm gonna work out after this episode, Gemma. I know you're trying to keep me honest here. Keep me honest.
Yeah.
What's up, Beans? Filler. I hardly know her. Hoi.
Hello, Beans.
I mean, who knew her? Lindsay. Apparently Tommy knew her too well. Sorry, Johnny boy. Oh, they were so close from being they're already brothers, but they could have been Eskimo brothers after that.
Oh.
So like brothers squared, I guess. I don't know what you would really call it, but
oh my.
So yeah, I mean we're gonna talk about all that. As you should be having whiskey. It is the drink of choice around these parts. As long as it's brown, we appreciate it. Nothing fancy though. Look,
as long as it's brown, we appreciate it. First time you'll ever hear that on this show.
And the only time yesterday. Just kidding. Bex would be like, "What happened in the episode? And what did you guys talk about?" I'm just gonna have to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. But yeah, this is a much better episode. And
yeah, it's a nice bump up from the previous one. Because like I said, last week I didn't hate it altogether, but I would say it's not particularly good. That episode was a problem. This one, while not great, it's definitely a bump up. It is an improvement.
100%. And I do think there's some really good themes and some really good moments. And again, like there's some good shots. I think we could kind of talk about the music as well, or have mentioned the music. I don't think the music in this episode threw me off as much as some of the other episodes and other parts.
It only bothered me, I think, in one moment. We'd have to come across it for me to know exactly which one. There was only one moment where I did not like the transition from the scene they were in to the music they used to kind of move over to the next one. Because I am very highly averse to the modern music in this. It wasn't grading too bad in this one, other than maybe one scene.
Was it the I might know what you might be referring to.
I want to say it was like right after he had his meeting in the alley with Sam Neill. I think they transitioned from that scene to the next with like a modern song, and I really didn't like it.
Yeah,
because that's like such a serious scene where he's kind of actually put on his heels a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, okay, there's just something kind of neat to this, because that's a pretty tense scene where Sam Neill's kind of taking the gloves off and warning him. It's like, hey, if I don't get what I want, if you don't come up on your end of the deal, then it's going to be pretty bad for you and everything. And then they transition to the next scene. And I was like, with the modern music, I was like, dang it, that killed the vibe a little bit, because I really liked the menace of that scene.
Yeah, because it was it's like there's this what was the actual wording? It was the basically Tommy has to deliver versus if Campbell gets dismissed. So like, is his dismissal going to come before Tommy's delivery of the guns? Like, it's like, well, Campbell knows that he has to take out Billy Kimber first, and then he'll give the guns back.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some more tension, and I definitely want to talk about that. But I think for this episode overall, like it Tommy's trying to make the business more legitimate, which he does. But he's also testing more loyalty. He's kind of reshaping things continuously, as the season progresses with like the family decisions. You're trying to establish and solidify alliances. But as we know, like there are things and there are decisions that come with the cost. Some things that he may or may not realize, even in this episode, especially how like the episode ends. Grace is getting closer. She's kind of fulfilling her position more, which kind of disgusts Inspector Campbell.
I will say this: I'm getting fuzzy on the time frame that this is covering, because his sister's pregnancy seemed to begin and end really fast. I did not realize it, because it's like when you find out she's pregnant, it's like, okay, she's early in this pregnancy when they find out, and now she just had her baby, and I was like, have we actually covered this much time? I didn't realize that much had gone by. That's not how it really seems. It feels like this has been like maybe a few weeks. It doesn't feel like we've been covering months here, but we have to have, I guess. So
Yeah,
it felt like the pregnancy was kind of fast tracked.
I don't know if
she couldn't have been far in her pregnancy when they found out, because they found out she didn't have a bump or anything. It's like they found out because of her behavior. So she went from having no bump to, by episode 4, she has it. So you effectively, it's like, I mean, I don't know like exactly how long it takes before a woman stops showing, but I mean, we're talking at least 6 months is how much we would have had to have covered in this span. I was like, dang, we've moved fast on this one. I did not realize we were doing that.
Yeah, there's definitely some time skippage here. Which
I guess my issue with that is because, like, okay, how much time is between this episode and the previous one? Because it really, because like, okay, so what the Lees do in this episode is in retaliation for the last episode. So I'm like, part of me wants to go back to look at episode 3 to see if his sister looks that pregnant there, because if not, I'm like, it took them this long to actually retaliate? Okay. Because he's bandaged still. He's bandaged still from that attack. So I was like, is there a little bit of time screwery going on here? What's this all about?
I think the major time skips would have happened between episodes 1 and 2, and then 2 and 3, with not a lot happening between 3 and 4 here.
Yeah, it's like, because it's like there's either, I mean, and that's kind of why it's like, if I go back and look at 3, it's like I'm going to be specifically looking at how far along does she look, because if it's not like she looks like she's ready to burst, then they've basically created a plot hole.
Is it episode 2 that Polly recognizes that she's pregnant?
I think that's episode 1. Episode 1 is, I think, because that's what spurs the whole thing with them finding out these two are in love and they've got a relationship. I think that's episode 1.
So I think she was maybe,
but it's episode 3 and 4 that need to be close together, because you've got the attack on the Lees, you've got the guy who gets like part of his ear cut off. He is still bandaged when they attack. So I'm like, then in episode 3, she needs to look really pregnant then, because otherwise we've done a pretty big time jump. So it's kind of a plot hole. Like, literally, there would have to have been a major time jump in this episode, and that is in no way clear. So I'm curious if that holds up on rewatch.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a fair point to make, just in terms of like trying to space things out. And I know some people might not really care about it, but I do think for like some sort of continuity angle, it does matter, because I think in some cases, number one, it gives more validation to the length of time that Winston Churchill is allowing Campbell the time to do this job. How much time Campbell and Tommy Shelby are having their agreement, their sort of quote unquote partnership. How long Freddie was gone until he came back, and how long Ada has been hiding from Tommy. How long Grace has been trying to work Tommy, and finally decides to, I'll start, maybe having an angle on Arthur, because he's poorer and a bit dumber, and it wouldn't be as obvious as me trying to get kind of closer in with everything. But Arthur's not that dumb, because at least he picks up on Grace is asking a lot of questions. Tommy, you might want to check her out, or like at least take a hard look at her again and see what you think. But it is something to think about, because again, I don't know if there's an actual explanation behind it, or if there's some sort of reasoning, um, but yeah, that is a perspective to have, or at least to kind of keep in the back of our minds, right? I don't remember if I mean, I think there are other seasons that talk about like what year it is and everything, but I don't think they do like 2 months later or 3 months later. Which is it really?
I mean,
too much to ask about that?
I
Maybe?
don't mind the time jumps as long as things. Like I said, if I go back and watch episode 3, or find his sister in episode 3 and find that she looks very pregnant, I'm like, oh, okay, no problem then. Then this is all fine. I mean, granted, it's a little bit jarring, because you don't necessarily know when these time jumps are occurring. I mean, but you don't always have to. I mean, shows do this all the time where they're moving forward without telling you exactly how much. It's just, wow, we've actually moved forward several months at minimum between these 4 episodes. So it's like, okay, it's not inherently bad. It's just there is one point I have to kind of make sure of to know that they haven't inadvertently created a major plot hole. I mean, granted, is it like, does it ruin the show or everything? It's like, no, it just shows like a bit of carelessness on their part, if that's the case. Again, I could go back and find out, no, she looks completely pregnant. It's fine. No big deal. But if she doesn't, then I'm like, nah, you all screwed that up.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps, so, yeah, I mean, if anyone is watching and, again, or watches it on replay before we do, then, let us know.
Yes, Draconis. This is my first time watching Peaky Blinders.
It's Gord's and it's Vex's first time watching it. Goob and I have watched the show, but obviously it's been some years since I've watched it. So this is it's a bit of a fresh rewatch for myself as well. So, but enjoying it though nonetheless. So
I'm right now. I don't dislike the show. I'm still kind of like, I'm more or less, I'd say I'm interested in it. I'm not yet at the point where I say I like it yet. I'm waiting to see how well it pays off, because I'm like, all right, this is it's okay. It's not quite a chore to watch it, but I'm not like really, really into it yet. I'm just like, okay, there's some stuff that's grabbing me a little bit, but I do think the show has some issues with balancing its plot lines and its characters. It's moving at a pace to where it's like there's a lot that they're trying to establish is going on all at once, and some of it's interesting, some of it is just like, oh, okay, like the whole thing with his brother in this episode. I'm like, okay, there's some emotional resonance to the whole, him wanting to marry this one girl, and then they have a wedding there at the end with a different person. I'm like, okay, there's some, you can relate to that to a certain level just by putting yourself in the shoes of the character, but they didn't build up to this at all, like on either front,
What
so
do you mean,
like
the marriage?
Well, the first part, like when he wants to marry the one girl, I was like, oh, I didn't know he was with anyone. Okay. Of course, the other thing is, when you don't let us get to know your characters very well, it's kind of hard to keep track of everybody's names. It's like, okay, I know, it's like, I know Cillian Murphy's character pretty well. It's like, I know his mother pretty well. It's like some of the other ones kind of get lost in the fray. I know Grace, like she's pretty well established, but his brother, it's like, okay, I know a bit about his personality. He's kind of the dumb one, but when he comes in, he's telling them, yeah, I'm engaged. It's like, I didn't know you were engaged. Maybe they told me and I just forgot, but it's like, this is moving so fast that I guess I was like, I don't remember anything about you being engaged, or, because he's coming to them saying, I want to marry this girl, and they're kind of laughing at him. And I was like, yeah, this is funny, but have they built to this at all? Now, I understand at the end the utility of, marrying him to the other girl. I was like, okay, I get why they're doing that, and that's fine. Yeah. But again, they haven't done a really good job building the conflict between the Lees and the Shelbys. They've alluded to it, but other than the one fight they had with the hats with the razors, and then they jumped him in the last episode, it's like, okay, it's like you're giving us a little bit, but it's kind of one of those conflicts that you're aware of, but you're not really invested in.
I think for the sake of the Lees, right, like they've been stealing from Billy Kimber for a while now, and I think again with the passage of time, which isn't like explicitly mentioned, Like it's been 4 months, or maybe it was maybe like in the episode where Tommy is talking to the accountant and Kimber at the table, right? Maybe he is saying, maybe he just like they've been stealing from you guys for the last like 4 months, and who knows? Oh well, that's been that much time, so they have been a problem. But we know that the Peaky Blinders and the Lees did not leave off on a good note.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I think some cases for these other characters, I mean, John Boy, who's his, the youngest brother, right? So we do know that from the episode of at the table when Kimber first, is sitting across from them from the, in their bar, right? So it's like, who they are, but I will admit, yeah, or at least agree that if you're watching this from the first time, you know that Tommy is the main character because it's Cillian Murphy. It's his show, essentially. Polly has a big, part, obviously, as, Helen McCrory. Paul Anderson is probably the next biggest character that is, throughout every season as Arthur Shelby. And John, his character builds up over time. And I mean, I think in some cases, like, again, like the idea is there is a lot going on, but I think they're also trying to justify the time constraint. So it's like almost like maybe on a comic book level, and I'm not trying to make an excuse for it, but I'm just trying to think of maybe another analogy where it's like between, the pains of a comic book, where you have so much space and so many pages to write an issue. Unless
here's the thing, like with his brother hooking up with the prostitute, there's a really easy way to bridge that without. I mean, it's like, okay, if I understand if you don't want to, if you don't really have time to establish a relationship, you could tell us who she is before the moment where he says, I want to hook up with her. Because they're having this conversation, like all of them are in the know about, you're wanting to hook up with this prostitute. But now I'm like, I don't know who the heck you're talking about. So maybe if you'd spent a little time getting to know the chick or maybe show them together, I would maybe have some awareness of it. But I'm like, you're bringing up this chick and you're telling us she's a prostitute and you're having a laugh at it. And I'm like, all right, I get what you're going for in this scene, but this means nothing to me. I don't know who you're talking about. I mean, when he gets in the car with her, I was like, who the hell is this? It's like, oh, okay. And then when he propositions her, I'm like, oh, okay, this is the girl he wants to marry. Sure. Okay, fine. And that's, as far as I know, that's the first time we've seen her. If not, they just haven't done enough to make her memorable, but I don't remember her at all.
No, well, again, yeah, this is like her first introduction, but yeah, I mean, Waylon says it right here. Like we will become very familiar with her. And it's his, and again, I think had every season been maybe 8 episodes instead of 6,
or maybe if you just had fewer plot threads going at once.
Well, that too, but I mean, I think you would have had other things going on. Maybe longer seasons, but there again, I think in some cases you could have changed things around in some of the latter seasons based on like focusing on other earlier plot lines and how you move them. But
I mean, we're coming up with watching a movie that's less than 2 hours that balances tons of characters.
Sure.
And does them all justice, makes every scene basically meaningful. And this show is it's like we're 4 hours in, and I'm like, okay, I have a beat on a few of you, and I have a beat on a few of the plot lines. But to be honest, the only plot thread that feels significant based on the information we have for it, as far as, that I feel invested in, I guess, is maybe the one with Sam Neill. There's some investment there because it's like, okay, we understand the players at least. But even that one has its problems. And I'm like, okay, the whole thing with the Kimbers, I know what's going on for the most part, but even that one's kind of fuzzy. I mean, like when they get the whole, like the gambling license thing during this episode, they have that big cheer over it. And I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, okay, I can see that this is significant, but I don't feel that significance because, I didn't realize this was a big thing. I didn't realize y'all were looking for that. Maybe y'all alluded to it at some point, but this hasn't, like, you could have done a storyline about this trying to go, get some kind of legitimate license or something, but it's like, nope, we're not doing that either. It's just, you're supposed to be aware that this is a big thing. It's like, I wouldn't have known. Okay. I wouldn't have known if you weren't cheering, I guess, because that meant nothing to me. So it's a lot of these things are happening, and I feel like I'm more just an observer than I am like, actually invested in the story.
I mean, I'm trying to think about what would be a good application for every single storyline. Like what are the stakes for each of these ongoing threads, right? Like, between the partnership between Tommy and Campbell, Freddie and Tommy, the family becoming a legitimate business because of their dealings with Billy Kimber and the Lees, right? But all those technically tie together too because of this deal that he's orchestrated with Campbell. Now, I think the most important one is the deal with Campbell. And I think in the scene where it's raining and it's the two of them at night talking, that was a very good conversation, and obviously got kind of dark, no pun intended, in which we'll get to more in a little bit. But I think that kind of helped shape the stakes more because of what Campbell says is like, what's going to come first, your deliverance or my dismissal? Because those
that's why I like that scene. That's a really strong scene because you get some character dynamics, you get some stakes, put into this. That's why it's like, okay, this story thread I have some investment in, especially, and that's what I love about the scene. It's like, okay, now we have an idea.
Glaze it, Jamma, glaze it.
This is we now have an idea of what's on the line if Thomas doesn't like fulfill his end of it. And I was like, okay, that gives us a little something there. That's good. It's good to see maybe him in a vulnerable spot, put into a corner a little bit. I like that. That's all really good. It's like, I want more of that kind of thing. And here's the thing. It's a very aesthetically nice show. It's very well acted. I can see the draw to this show so far. It's hard for me not to look at it and kind of bemoan the potential, because I think this show could be so much better if they had actually would have established these characters and these plot lines a bit better than they are. Because again, it's like, really, aside from that plot thread, most everything else, I feel like I'm just an observer. I'm not really all that invested into it. It's like the Sam Neill plot line. That's a good one. That's the one that anytime he's on screen or there's something going on regarding that particular conflict, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is good. And it helped that they tied it a bit to his sister's husband, the friend and everything. That helped that one a little bit. I still wish that there had been more about his relationship to the guy. That would have made that moment where he gets arrested a little bit more significant. But I was like, it was still pretty good overall. Because there's a little bit of intrigue, when he gets taken away, like, oh, did Shelby actually turn him in? Did he give him away? Or, because then they highlight, they show Grace behind him. It's like, oh, did she do it? It's like, okay, that's interesting.
See her little eye, you see the expression she makes. It's very subtle, but it does create some ambiguity there, and it makes you wonder, which I do like from a writing perspective. And but I think, Draconis is right. Knowing like myself more, where like there is a lot of threading of the needles with the characters. It's like we just get Lindsay as a character kind of included in this. John Boy is having more screen time, more purpose, but I was less educated by people like Gordo when I first watched it. I can see the value of criticisms now.
Here's the thing. It's part of doing this where you're trying to break stuff down and you get into criticism is it does tend to distance you a little bit from the casual viewer. Because if I'd watched this like 5 years ago when I wasn't doing this kind of thing, I probably would enjoy this more because I would be willing to make all of these inferences, and I'd be more than willing to do all that on behalf of the show in order to enjoy it more. And I think it's fine when people do that, and that's why I tend not to argue with people about what they enjoy, because I mean, it's kind of pointless to argue feelings with people. I mean, it's like that's just, I mean, it's like if you have a reaction to something that's positive, good for you. If you have a reaction that's negative, okay, no big deal. But I have to look at this from a critical perspective. And the thing is, the more you do that, the more the critical element starts to affect your enjoyment. It's I think because you're looking for things that you can really praise, because when you do these shows, you're looking for things you can praise, you're looking for things you can criticize, and when you're seeing, okay, it's kind of doing this wrong, or oh, it's doing this right, it's like it is affecting the way you view it. It is affecting the way you enjoy it. It's like it's kind of it's hard once you develop that muscle. It's kind of hard to train it to do something else.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that was the point we were trying to reiterate when we were talking about Primal Season 3, where it's like we were extremely huge fans of the first 2 seasons and gave it an incredible amount of rave reviews and could talk, hours and hours on a 20-minute episode from all perspectives. And, I've had the same conversation with friends, when they ask my opinion about something, and like, my mind goes into just, unbiased mode. I'm like, I'm going to, apply the critical, feedback and critical, criticisms just from how I'm looking at it. And that's not to say that I will ever dislike anything, because there's plenty of things I have guilty pleasures for. And like, I'm a fan of this show, which is one kind of the reason why we're reviewing it. But,
I do want to answer Draconis. Draconis raised, okay, he says, is that a knock that people who enjoy this differently than you aren't? No, not, I mean, well, it depends. Do you mean a knock on them? No, not at all. Because I don't have the expectation for people to necessarily go into a show expecting anything more than to have a subjectively enjoyable experience. But that said, it's like if you're doing the critic thing, if you're trying to do that, you're trying to at the very least raise people's standards. I'm not trying to sap anybody's joy of this show.
Right.
I'm trying to say, okay, look, this is objectively what this show does well. This is objectively what this show does not so well. And here's the thing, Peaky Blinders, like Jamma said, it's still considerably better than a lot of other shows 100%, out there. 100%. It is considerably better than a lot of crap that we get out there.
Yeah.
But what we're trying to do with shows like this, with streams like this, is to establish, it's establishing a bit of hierarchy. And it's like, has little to do with whether or not you really, really enjoy this or you really, really don't. I mean, that's for the individual to decide. I think that's all acceptable. But there's shows like Breaking Bad, which do almost everything right, and they exist way up here. And then you got shows like Game of Thrones that do everything right for a while, and then they taper off and become garbage, and they exist more like a little bit down here. And then you have shows that are complete garbage that never do anything right, and they rest there at the bottom of the barrel. And then you got shows like this that are like, okay, it's right now maybe a bit above that middle tier. Like, it's probably somewhere between a C and a B tier type show so far, but it does have a ton of potential. Like, I still have quite a bit of hope for this, going forward, because I'm like, okay, they've definitely got some really good elements at work here. It's just, I'm hoping they flesh this out a little bit better than they have so far, because I think while it's not bad overall, it's sort of a shaky start, and you're like, man, there's a lot of meat on this bone that can make this really great, or at the very least, really, really good. Please. So, yeah, that's what we're establishing here. And here's the thing. A person who has a very different take on this than me could come in here and make good arguments to justify this decision and that, and I'd be like, yeah, go ahead, change my mind. And if they do it, awesome. I would much rather have my mind changed in the positive direction than the negative. I think that'd be great.
I agree, Willen. And I think that's kind of like, when I think about Peaky Blinders too, it is kind of hard to, and I think it's just the way Stephen Knight designed this. Like, he had an idea of where he wanted to go with it, and knew that it was going to take multiple seasons. But that being said, it was going to require multiple avenues to get there. And like, we do get to some other seasons that have new characters that come into the picture here, that I think are done more properly in terms of like knowing who they are. So I don't know, that was just maybe Stephen Knight understanding more about where he wanted to go and what he was trying to derive here, from these, character arcs and plot threads. But, yeah, like, and it's like I've told, friends who don't really go on YouTube, but will talk movies and stuff like that. I'll just say, like, look, before we get into it, if you enjoyed this movie or show, I'm glad you did. I'm not going to harp on you by any means. I'm just going to come at this and talk a little bit more critical. And then at the end, I'll say, whether I like it or not. And it's not any takeaways. It's like, I have friends that love movies and put them on high regard. And I'm just like, I'll joke around because they're my friends. And I'm like, bro, you're smoking crack. This movie is like an easily like 5 out of 10, not some like 8 or 9 out of 10. But to them, that's what they enjoy. And we've never been
like,
about
to be clear, this is why
that enjoyment,
Yeah, like, well, I mean, there's shows that I think are worse than this that I probably still like. We talked about Sherlock last week.
Mm-hmm.
I probably would say I enjoy watching Sherlock a little bit more than this so far. Granted, this one is not nearly as fleshed out yet. I know I've seen all of Sherlock, so I have a lot to go on there. But, Sherlock is styled in such a way to where, and has character. I mean, I do think Sherlock does pretty good with its characters. That's probably why I still like it a little bit more. But if I were to judge that show versus this show objectively, it's like this show's a bit better. And like, Vex asked me, how much
I would say that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sherlock at best is like a 5 out of 10 show, and it might even be a little lower than that because there's a lot of nonsense in that show. But I still find it enjoyable at the very least. And I would say at the moment I'd probably rather watch that on an entertainment level. But this show I do think so far is better. So that's why I have still a good amount of hope for it, even though I am kind of, going over what I think is a little bit rough with this show so far. I do think this is an above average episode overall. So it's hard for me not to make note of the fact that I think that this could have been a much better episode if like the rest of them, did more to like support the various like plot threads and everything.
Yeah. I would say too, Vex, if you're watching still, there is a moment you'd probably enjoy. One of the best lines in the episode.
Yeah, that is one thing I brought up earlier. This episode has the best line of the show so far. It is a legit great line. I laughed. I was like, that's pretty freaking good. Well, to set it, I don't know how much of the scene you're going to play, but they're basically the younger brother is wanting to marry this chick. She's a prostitute. So, and this is, I guess, what they say about her.
Hold on,
you might have to carefully go around it. Does Tommy call somebody? No, not like it. It's more a joke about a prostitute, and it's the mother who has the line. I was like, oh, that was a good burn. I might use that one. Because that's the other thing. It's a line that transcends time. All
right, here we go. Hold
on. It's brave. Oh, it's brave, all right.
Brave is going where no man's gone before. And with Lizzie Starkshot, that is really not what you'll be doing.
Listen, Tommy, welcome her to the family. As someone who's had a hard life. All right, because I need someone.
I think it's right.
You might have to pause a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it's right before or right after this, but that's not that is one of the good lines from that. Yeah. What's funny about that is she starts as being kind of defensive of him. Like she's kind of on his side at first, but then they can't stop cracking on her.
Yeah, Polly and Arthur are just laughing up while they're drinking. They keep making jokes at John Boy, so it's kind of funny. Let me play it. See if I can find it because I don't remember if it was before. I just kind of picked a random part.
I mean, that is the right scene. No joke.
It is. Yeah.
That is the right scene.
I think it's before that. Hold on. Oh, okay. It was before that. Okay, here we go. Hold on. Let me reshare. All right, here we go.
Men and their cocks never cease to amaze me. John, Lizzie Stark's never did a day's work vertical.
She's changed. All right.
Oh, I love that. That's great. I was like, I knew I wrote it wrong on my headline, but I was like, hasn't done a day's work vertical. I was like, that's fantastic. Like, that's one of those lines that you stop for a sec so you make sure you understand exactly what the character said. And I'm like, that's good.
Yeah, when you think about it,
there's a lot of people you could say that about. It's like that one. That's a burden.
Vex is right here. Applicable to 90% of the women online these days. 100%.
Says it so casually, and I'm like, that's good. Hasn't done a day's work vertical. Too.
Like, you can't say, oh, misogyny. It came from a man. Like, no, this actually came from a
freaking based,
pretty based ass woman. So who used to run shit. So you can't.
I mean, I don't know if I would call her entirely based as a character. There is a little bit of feminism to her, but she does have the line here and there that I'm like, okay, that's pretty freaking based. I love I think Helen McCrory's killing it in this show. She's awesome.
Vex's barrage tweeting at Melanie Mac is hilarious. You could also probably say that about her husband. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on about that. But anyway,
I'd say that what Vex is just noticing patterns.
No, for sure.
Noticing some patterns.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, it is a bit of a slow roast in some cases, though. I agree with Draconis here, and I don't think that's a bad thing, right? So I think it's the build up, right? And I think while season 1 overall is a good introduction to the show, to the characters, you know, seasons 2 and 3 are probably my favorite seasons of the show from my recollection.
Isn't his reason for wanting to marry the hooker because does he have a kid? Is that what he said? I didn't realize he had kids. That was the other thing. I was like, I didn't know you had kids, dude. Okay. All right. Sure. In fact, so the kid who's in the car, is that one of his?
No, I believe that is Tommy's youngest brother.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, yeah. Which is kind of messed up because obviously it's like, you know, a child almost died, like when he's talking to the matriarch of the Lees, you know, and talking in Gypsy. You know, it's like a child almost died. Like we need to kind of square away our little war here. But yeah, Finn was his name. I think Sax. So yeah, this is more the scene here. I mean, I do think for what's happening, you know, again, like this is the episode to give John Boy some more spotlight. You know, he gets his moment to, you know, realize that he can't do this alone. You know, you know, there's a lot going on. He's trying to help with the family business. He's got 4 kids running around. Like he needs a wife to deal with the kids. And which, I mean, kind of based, you know.
Well, yeah, and this is kind of one of those things that it's like if you'd shown him maybe with his kids maybe having a hard time, it'd be like this scene would have really hit. Like if you did that, I would even be fine not knowing too much about the woman he's wanting to marry. I'd be like, okay, we at least have some form of justification that we're already aware of that makes his plight a little bit more understandable. Because now, I mean, like, as the justification they give for the wedding at the end, I was fine with, because I was like, okay, yeah, I get that. It's kind of, it's very much like doing it the way royalty does it. You know, you marry families together so you can formulate alliances and, you know, blood ties everyone. And that all makes sense to me. But if you'd shown maybe the brother's plight a little bit with his kids, this probably would have been a bit more effective. But I mean, because it sucks, because I was like, that is a scene I really liked, you know, in isolation, because, you know, it's funny and it has like those great lines
humor to it. Yeah, no, I agree. Well, it's also like, you know, I mean, you could see, I think for like trying to develop John Boy's character more, and thinking about him, you know, being passionate about wanting a woman, but also like he's kind of set his sights on Lizzie because he thinks she's pretty or whatever, but he knows her, he knows, you know, who she is and what her past was. But he's like defending her, and he's really adamant about, you know, like, I'll shove my revolver so far down their throat, you know, and he's like, don't say that word. I don't want to hear anyone say the word. And Tom is like, what? Whore, prostitute, you know, like what's so wrong about it, right? Like I'll have like Tommy, who's just, you know, the head honcho, is just like, yeah, no one cares. And it's kind of funny the fact that he says those things knowing later on in the episode when he's going to have a little talk with her in the car, and you hear, yeah, we've kind of hooked up a few times.
There is some irony behind the dumb brother having a thought.
You talking about Arthur or John Boy?
Well, I mean, he's marrying a prostitute, so he's having a thought.
Oh,
see what I did there?
THOT. Well, he wanted a thought. He had a thought about a thought, and then thought, maybe that's not a good thought after all.
He should have thought better.
Yeah. Well, someone had to think for him, so now he won't have any more thoughts because now he's wedded.
It is kind of funny. Like, I mean, and I'm glad they. I mean, I figured, like, when he's telling him, look, we found someone, we're going to marry you to someone else. And he's like, you know, kind of resistant of it. And I'm just like, dude, come on, your brother's not going to screw you over. I would have been kind of like shocked if he like hooked him up with an Uggo or something like that. But like, no, he's like, hey, I mean, who's the prettiest single gal in your family? All right, we're going to marry these two together. We'll be all right.
Yeah. I mean, well,
I guess you could say maybe the only, I mean, I guess you could maybe argue a little bit of convenience to the fact that his brother's wanting to get married and them needing a marriage to kind of solidify the alliance. So you could maybe argue there's a bit of plot convenience there. These two things are occurring simultaneously, but that's kind of why I think they probably would have done well to show him with his children and, you know, kind of struggling to take care of them. Because that at very least would have justified the coincidental nature of it. But I mean, it's not egregious or anything. It's fine, but it is one of those things where you're like, it's hard not to notice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong per se to, you know, to say, oh, it's, you know, plot convenience or whatnot. Because I think it is, right? Like there's, you know, and it's just the way it's.
Well, because it's the fact that they're mentioning it at the same time. They're mentioning it. They're mentioning this thing, and then they're solving it. It's like they're solving two problems at once at the same time, and one of these problems we didn't even know existed. It's like we didn't even know that there was a problem with him and his kids. We're like, okay, we know there's this problem with the Lees. We're aware of that. We've been made aware of that. Fine, good, no problem. But it's like it's almost like they just have the idea of him wanting to wed somebody. They are only bringing that up as a setup for marrying him off later. And I'm like, okay, that's a little convenient that you're doing it that way, but I'll forgive it. It's just, if you just gave me a little bit before then, showing me that he wants to get married or that he's struggling without a wife, like, because that to me would have been the better way to do it. Is you show him in a scene, maybe in episode 1 or 2, where he's trying to raise his kids, and he's struggling, and he's not doing too well on his own. Maybe even show him kind of look at a picture of their mother or something, kind of lamenting that she's gone or whatever. Then you don't even need the scene with, you know, him talking about the prostitute. You just say, hey, I know you've been struggling on your own, and I've got a solution. And you could still make him resistant to the idea of getting married and everything. But then when he sees her, be like, okay, maybe this is all right. You know? So you could do it that way, and it probably would have been a bit more effective. But yeah, it's like the way they do it. It's like, I don't hate it. It's just, it's a bit plot convenient.
No, for sure. You know, and I mean, at least for John, like he didn't end up marrying someone that was like fugly or anything. Because I think, to me, that's exactly what he was worried about. Is like, oh man, I'm gonna be, you know, stuck with some stinker, and you know, it's like, I don't want to do this, because it's like, you know, he might end up going back to prostitutes. And it's like, you know, she can just take care of the kids, but he's not going to be there like with her really. which I mean, it would be a bad marriage at that point, and it would probably screw things over. So I think in terms of how the woman that he marries, I think it's good for her. I'm like, she's, might be cute. I mean, it's good enough for him. And like, he looks over and it's like, oh, like, you're not terrible to look at. And, first time seeing you. It's like, it'd be one thing if he looked over and was like, oh, I am Tommy. I hate you so much right now. Like, he even kind of looks back and is like, all right, like, I can work with this, but I think it is, again, just like, even like right here,
I do wish that the Lees, had a name that started with a J. That way you could call this alliance PB&J. That'd have been great. Maybe you could call them the Gypsies with a J.
the Gypsies. Yeah, I liked that scene there. It's like, hand on the Bible, and he's like, I don't believe it. I was like, oh, let me talk in your language then. Hold on. Which again, like, you see her, she's a new character, right? That we get. But
intriguing. I was like, okay, she's an intriguing character.
Yeah. And again, like, there's a lot that's kind of being set up. There's a lot of crumbs that are being laid here, in this episode alone. But I think it's pretty interesting here though, too, in this conversation when she's like, you came in here, wanting to demand this, yet you're also gonna, take someone out. Like, she's
saying you're here asking for trust while telling me
that
you're gonna betray someone.
Yeah. But hey, it's it's for the best.
And this is what makes the idea of a blood alliance more effective. Is like, okay, he goes. I mean, because that's what makes that proposal intriguing. It's like, look, I understand your concern there. However, I'm trying to join us together by blood, and that should, calm those waters and everything. It's like, that's a good idea. That's what I'm saying. It is a totally smart power play. I like this plot thread. It's just like, it could use a bit of tinkering to make it better, but overall, I like it. It's good.
Yeah, because it's and I think at that moment too, Tommy's already considered the fact that he doesn't want Lizzie or whatever to be a part of the family, because he knows who she is and he doesn't trust her. I'm gonna pause the scene here. He doesn't trust her, right? But I also think he's going to test her, to test her loyalty, and see what she's going to do and say.
And I mean, a prostitute being, it's not, I mean, he's not only looking out for his brother, he is very much looking out for the family. Because I mean, a prostitute, you're not just a prostitute with what you do in the bed. If you can be bought, it's like if you've abandoned dignity to the point where you're just willing to take money for sex, it's like you can be bought in a number of other ways too. So
no, for sure.
That's like, that subtext I don't think needs any explaining. I think, from Shelby's point of view, I would assume that he's thinking along those lines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, we obviously see how it plays out, but talking about this scene again, I think this is probably the best scene in the entire episode. Certainly I think has the, more stakes are conveyed by their conversation. I think it has some really good dialogue.
Stakes, character, atmosphere. This is a pretty well shot, well written scene, top to bottom. This does just about everything you want it to do. Does it well.
Yeah, 100%. Because while Tommy's point of this meeting is to give him the information that he's looking for. It's like, no, you don't want Freddie. You want Chapman, I think it was his name. Unless I'm wrong. But
who now? What now?
The guy that he gives the letter, the guy that's on the letter, I think it was Chapman.
I think so. I think it's Chapman, yeah.
Because he's saying, like, the deal is, how about I'll give you someone better who has the money, who's been funding these communist get-togethers and whereabouts. So Freddie's not the guy you're looking for. You're looking for Chapman. I'll give you him, and I know where he is. And then the only deal I want is to take my sister and her husband, my brother-in-law, off the table. So it's like, I know who he is, but he's also technically family now. So,
Mhm.
just as part of the Shelby tree, yeah. So you kind of have to leave him out of this. Which, again, Campbell says, "I gave you my word," and he's pretty adamant about being truthful to his word. However, it's the moment he kind of sits down and it's like, well, I don't want to say Tommy was trying to do some sort of power play on him, but they're just kind of talking deals, and Campbell just says, let's tilt this telescope here a little to the right and talk about another view that you might not have thought about, Mr. Shelby.
Well, before that, even one of the ways I like how Campbell sets this up. He's a really good little line to kind of, I think, throw him off what he's about to do. He says, "You hold all the cards."
Right.
And he's like basically saying, "You may have all the power now, but
if
you lose me," is what it's like. He's like, not only is it if I'm out of the job, then you're dealing with somebody else.
Yep.
But that's bad enough. But it's like, but just so you know, I think his line is, he's like, "You get me fired." It's like, my vengeance would make the devil blush. And I was like, all right, that's like, okay. He's giving us. He's like, if I got nothing to lose, then you're gonna be in real trouble. And I'm like, okay, I like this.
Yeah, the way he talks about his fury and the things he says are very twisted and sick. You're like, oh, as much as Campbell is trying to be a man of law enforcement and some sort of justice, man is not afraid to just get downright nasty and evil for the sake of going, I got nothing to lose now. So I'm going to do whatever fury, I think he talks about like his wrath and fury, and you don't want to be on the other side of this, but you're going to be, because it will be you who has gotten me fired. And I mean, it's again a great dialogue, although it's extremely messed up. He threatens his sister, threatens who was it? His younger brother, Finn, right? Like, I'll put him in the adult prison where the men who like to do certain things to kids. And I'm like, that's Campbell, that's fucked up, bro. Like that is fucked up, bro. Like you're sick in the head if that's what you're gonna do. But it's like, yeah, I'll just kill everyone and I'll put everyone in the worst possible place because whatever, right? Like there's no deal that's gonna back me out of this. And again, like just it's I'll say one thing too, like you see how calm Tommy can be and how composed Tommy can be. But the moment Campbell walks away, Tommy's like, I'm about ready to pull the trigger and shoot you in the back. I don't care how dishonorable it might be. Like, them's fighting words, but
well, it's like he kind of
he can't do it. Like he can't kill him there.
Well, right? He realized. Well, it's like he touched a nerve for sure.
Oh,
it's like the mask came off, but it's like the calm veneer. It's like came off there because he's like. He touched a nerve to the point. It's like he almost lost control for a little bit there. It's like, all right, so that threat that's stuck.
Oh yeah, and which I liked that. I mean, obviously, again, dialogue was crazy, but I liked that it ravaged his cage a bit. Right, it struck a nerve to the point where he's like, I'm this close from pulling the trigger, but I can't do it. And but just
I even love that before while he's walking away, he pauses momentarily, doesn't look back at him. It's almost just kind of like I dare you, but you ain't gonna do a thing.
Right.
And then he walks.
Like
he gives him that little moment. It's like, if you're gonna do it, do it. I didn't think so. And he goes, it's just like he gets that little victory. And I was like, okay, that's good. That adds a little bit of that adds to his, him being kind of the antagonist. It's like, yeah, it's that raises the stakes a bit. It's like, okay, he can hurt him. Good.
Yeah. And from the point of saying, well, yeah, you hold all the cards, Mr. Shelby. But yeah, don't test my fury. should this, my dismissal come before your delivery. And I mean, kudos to the writing. Yeah, it's right here. It's like he just stops for a second, doesn't even need to turn around all the way or like look at him. It's like, nah, I know he's probably pulled out. I mean, I was wondering.
Well, he's hurt. I mean, he heard the gun come out.
Yeah,
it's a pretty audible noise.
I mean, I would say it should be.
Well, I heard it, so I assume.
I know we heard it, but I'm saying like,
that's the point of the sound effect. The point of the sound effect is so it's telling you're hearing it to know that they heard it. Granted, if you thought about it logically, it's possible with them being a good 20 feet apart. Maybe it didn't, but I'm like, I don't think that would be hard to hear. But it's like the point of the sound effect is so you know that, yeah, he heard it because he responded to the sound effect. When he pulls the gun out, you hear the click. That's when he stops. So yeah, that's the point of it.
Yeah, do it. It's a dare. Like I double dog dare you to pull the trigger right here, right now, because even if you clean up the scene, we're going to dispose of my body. People are going to come looking for me in the morning. So you can't do it because then someone else will be here and you're going to have to strike this new deal all over again. I mean, it would have been a really interesting chain of events as to how someone new coming into the fray would have mixed things up. What Grace would have done. I know it's like a, if then sort of idea, but, would Grace have lost it at that point? Would she have been scared? Would her cover maybe have been blown a bit? Like, would she have been able to keep her composure? Would she have, done something drastic and irrational at that point? So, again, it's just a huge what if scenario, but, luckily Tommy's a bit smarter than that because, he definitely needs to make this work for his larger scheme and plan. But again, it's kind of like, it's good to show us and for us to remember that is calm and collected that Tommy Shelby might appear to be. He's still a human at the end of the day, and you can still get under his skin and strike a chord or a nerve, rattle his cage to the point where like he might kill you on the spot if you say the wrong things, especially when it comes to family. So.
Well, yeah, and that's I think even more to the point of what they're getting at is they're trying to show you that, hey, as much as he tries to, stay, be very in control, be very calm, kind of lord over the family in a way that makes him seem almost dispassionate. It's like, no, his family matters a lot to him.
Mm-hmm.
So that reaction is meant to show that. And I'm like, okay, that's good. That gives him, some depth.
Yeah, very much. And, for the sake of the information that's given to him, comes up nicely. And, I think he goes, Mr. Chapman, you're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'll have a nice little smoke after that, nice little W there, courtesy of the partnership between him and Tommy Shelby, but yeah, his character is still very interesting for him and Grace, which we see again in the little.
See, that's actually the element of it I don't care about. I don't care that
I'm
like, okay, she's the pretty lady that he has, I guess he has a thing for, but I'm like, I really don't care about that at all. Well, at least not yet. I don't have a reason to care about it yet. Because it doesn't really add anything positive or negative, I think, because it's like, I'm not really, I guess if somebody sees, the older guy showing that he has feelings for the younger woman, they might be creeped out by that. I'm more just kind of like, yeah, whatever. It's the time period and she's good looking. So I can understand that. That's fine. But there's no investment in their partnership as far as it being a relationship is concerned. I don't know if she sees him in any way, shape, or form like that, or as even, I don't even know if she sees him as a friend, to be perfectly honest. But actually, the thing I kind of liked about the scene that followed the alleyway is where he's basically saying, he's like, my word doesn't mean squat to this guy, which part of what made me laugh about that scene is because I kind of get annoyed when crime shows have two characters who are not connected by something like blood the way they do the thing with the Lees and the Shelbys here, rely on one another's word. And I'm like, you're freaking criminals. What? Do you really expect me to believe that a person's word is going to be strong enough? Give me a freaking break. I never buy that for a second that would really work. It's like, if you're trying to screw somebody over, one of your best faculties would be to lie to them. And if they're stupid enough to take you at your word, of course you'd lie to them if they're that naive. Are you kidding me? It's like, it's one thing that certain shows do that annoys the living crap out of me, because I'm like, people are liars. One of the biggest strengths of Breaking Bad is that its main character is a pathological liar, and they don't shy away from it. It's like, yeah, he lies all the time. His word doesn't mean squat.
Yeah.
So it's like I can't stand when it's constantly one person relying on the word. I mean, I don't mind necessarily exploring it as a character flaw, but I'm more, because I see Waylon's comment there. It's like, I don't mind exploring it as a character flaw with a person. I mind when a show actually treats it as though it's actually binding between criminals, and not for character reasons, but because, oh, well, they gave the magic word, give me your word, I guess it's binding. Then it's like, no, that's not how real life works. People lie to each other. They do it all the time. They do it all the time. Your word generally in the criminal world doesn't mean a thing.
Yeah, in the criminal world it doesn't. There are instances
in the non-criminal world, a lot of times it doesn't mean a thing.
Well, in some cases, you can be taken to court based on words.
Well, sure, sometimes I mean a legal matter, but even then, it's not often. More often than not, you can lie and you're just fine.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not a good thing to do. It's a crappy thing to do, but it's still,
it's not a good habit to get into with lying.
It'll affect your relationships. It's not going to put you in prison. Sure,
but I feel like even for this scene as an example, Campbell, as essentially he's dead, right? Chapman's dead here, to get some information out of him. So it's again.
See, this tactic. Is why, this actually, because when he didn't talk, and it's because they don't tell each other address. I'm like, see, that's actually smart. And it's like, you don't rely on one person not giving you away as a form of trust. It's like, no, what are you kidding? We're not going to give each other's addresses. That's retarded. We're going to make sure that if this person gets questioned, they're not going to have any information to give away. It's like, yeah, that's a safeguard, because you can torture the answer out of somebody.
Yep. They'll give you up and your whole operation's kaput. So, but the lie about this is him dying in this sort of way. And he just tells the guy, just throw him down some stairs, kind of call the coroner.
Those cuts will clearly look like you got him falling down the stairs.
Yeah, and I'm like, because clearly you get cut up like that, falling down some stairs.
That's what he fell down some stairs that were covered in swords, obviously.
Yeah.
He had a whole lot of knives in his pocket, and they fell out, and he slipped on one, and just messed him up.
Exactly. Very lot of rusty nails poking out. Strong pieces of wood.
That's almost as good as that line in Mystery Men where Janine Garofalo's talking about her father dying, and he's like, "Yeah, I seem to remember there being some controversy surrounding his death," and she's like, "Yeah, the police said it was an accident. He came home late one night and fell down an elevator shaft onto some bullets." It's that kind of silly. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think that falling down the stairs is going to explain those cuts. But I mean, him being, an officer of the law, he's kind of banking on don't ask, it's like, hey, don't ask questions. Just whatever. He fell down some stairs. Get over it.
Yeah.
This guy's a piece of garbage. He's a commie. So who cares how he died? Which, kind of based, but.
Sure. Yeah. Zach makes a good point, though. These shows struggle when they get to the quote, why doesn't someone just kill so-and-so? The show at least has the fog of war aspect. Yeah. Gotta watch out for them sword stairs. They'll get you. Chapman was the victim of sword stairs.
Well, this show doesn't I don't think this show is in a position where you really can just, if you were to say, well, why doesn't Shelby just kill Sam Neill's character? It's like, that would be really stupid. He'd be bringing the law down on himself. So they've at least covered their bases in that respect, where you just can't like wantonly kill people for no reason. It's like, no, you've got safeguards in place in the show to ensure certain people survive at least for a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, somehow the coroner's like, wow, yeah, I don't know how he stabbed himself in the back, and then maybe that's kind of what caused him to fall down some stairs when he stabbed himself in the back. It's like, oh, this hurts, and then he just kind of tumbled, and then that sword proceeded to also stab him in other ways as he pulled it out and then fell on it multiple times in different yeah, 2 gunshot wounds to the back of the head.
What
2 hands?
What friend of the Clintons are you describing there, Beans? Because there's a couple of stories like that out there.
Twice, yeah. But yeah, this was a big moment for them being legitimate business now. Tommy, or no, was it the Shelby
they have a means by which I guess that they can, like, I don't think the legitimacy aspect is the part that in and of itself, they have kind of a steady means by which they can make money for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, cool. So they've got I mean, it's probably like a money laundering front, if nothing else.
Oh yeah,
a measure of control or something like that.
Yeah, it's like if anyone were to ask questions, they could be like, "Oh, what? We've got a legitimate business. What are you talking about?
I'm a businessman.
I know a legal operation.
We the Shelbys.
Mm-hmm. Count my money. Awful can't count. He can count cigarettes though.
We was racing horses and shit.
And he can count how many drinks he's had, to a certain degree. He probably stops after like 7 or 8. Who knows? I do like he kind of looks over at Grace at one point. He's like, I probably shouldn't. Tommy might get upset.
Mm-hmm.
That would piss off little brother, or not the littlest brother, but I'm gonna piss off the head of the family there. might take my privileges away.
I will say that it does bug me a little bit that Thomas's other brother, who was put in charge, they've kind of abandoned that altogether. It seems like,
who?
You know how like in the first episode, Thomas Shelby was not the one who was considered in charge. It was actually
Arthur, yeah,
Arthur was the one who they said he's actually in charge. They've basically abandoned that altogether. It's they're like, no, I guess he's really in charge. And it's like nothing, there's no real power struggle, it seems. It was just kind of once Sam Neill showed up and interrogated him, and what's his face? Kimber said, you must be the brains of this and everything. It's kind of like the show just decided, yep, he's in charge, and that's kind of that. I'm like, oh, all right. You'd think there'd be a little bit of a jealousy dynamic going there, and maybe they explore it later. It was just like, I'm kind of a little bit bugged by the fact that has not come up at all, that he's really just treated like the head of the family now.
I mean, I think there's reasons for it.
No, I mean, he should be in charge. Obviously, he is the smarter of the two. It's just the fact that usually people who have power aren't so accepting of losing it. So it may make sense from a story perspective that he should be in charge and everything. It's like, that's probably not how a brother would see that if he was the one put in charge. He'd be like, no, I mean, because it's kind of a knock on him. If you're saying someone, even if it's your brother, it's like, I mean, if everyone's just acknowledging, no, he's in charge, and you've just kind of been pushed to the side, it's like, that would cause some problems.
Unless the brother knew that he wasn't.
No one's going to have, no one with that kind of big dick energy is just going to take that lying down. I don't buy that. I mean, especially
bigger dick energy comes into play.
most guys aren't going to just lie down and accept that, especially men. I mean, especially men. It's like, we're going to be like, that's going to be, I mean, even if you accept it, there's going to be a part of you that wounds you. You
do get the moment in the last episode where, he's got the blues or whatever, because it was like, oh, I'm not getting included in this. I used to always be in the know. But then,
yeah, and I'm like, you can expand, and that's kind of, I thought at first they were going to expand on that more, and I'm like, there should be a whole working dynamic there. Yeah, because I'm like, I mean, it's like you would assume like there's going to be some level of power struggle there to some extent, and it's kind of, they one-offed it, and I was like, all right, it's over, he's in charge, and I'm like, I guess from a narrative perspective, if you were going to do it that easily, why didn't you just start that way? Why not just start that way in the first place?
I mean, it's a good point too. But yeah, I think
if you weren't going to do anything with that angle, why have the angle at all?
I think it's also just I think it was to prop up and like help understand even that, like, because it's the older brother is not the one that's in charge, because I think most of the time usually the older brother in family
but what I'm saying is,
have
if you start the show, start the show with Thomas being the older brother, and then you write it out. Just, I mean, if you're not gonna actually do anything with the brothers having any form of actual conflict, really, then just write Thomas Shelby as the older brother who has the power, and there you go. You don't have to worry about it, because it actually seems like the only time there's any power struggle, it's between him and his mother, which I'm like, okay, that's actually pretty good stuff. From time to time when they actually,
Paula is not his mother.
Well, okay, the matriarch of the family. Well, yeah, but so there's a little bit there that I think they do work with that's interesting, and I'm like, okay, so why'd they even have him be the younger between those two? Why not just have Thomas Shelby be the older brother? Then you don't have to worry about that, because they haven't done anything with that. So I'm like, why'd you even have it in the first place?
I'm trying to remember when it is, but I think they do revisit this. I can't remember.
I hope that
it is, but
I mean that could be good, but I'll be curious how they do it, because there's a chance it could be worse. The fact that it hasn't been acknowledged for a while, the longer it goes without them acknowledging it, the worse that could get, because it's like, what took you so long? Because that's a working angle that should just kind of be ongoing until there's, it should reach a certain breaking point, right? So I'm curious how they will revisit it, if it'll be done well. I hope it is. I really hope it will be, but I am a little surprised they haven't done more with it so far, because really his brother's kind of been pushed out even as a character. I know he's in the rest of the show, so he's going to be around a while for them to develop, but he's kind of just there at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of I think Cillian Murphy, carrying the weight of the show, and it really being like his biggest role, I think, of his entire career. I mean, up until maybe, he wins an Academy Award with Oppenheimer, but and not to say like some of his other movies aren't worthwhile too, but
this was obviously, one of those things where you put him in the lead,
transcended
into a highly stylized, well-produced show, and it's like it gives him an opportunity to shine like he never has. Because usually when he's the lead in other things, it's kind of obscure projects, and maybe a movie like Red Eye or something, where it's it's a movie people saw but kind of got forgotten.
I mean, I don't know if that's ever been brought up, or if Stephen Knight's talked about why Tommy wasn't the older brother to begin with, but I mean, I think between him being the middle brother, and I think I don't know if it's just like a in actuality, where the middle sibling usually doesn't, like, it kind of isn't the one that's focused. It's either like the older one, the younger one, middle one kind of gets left out sometimes, unless your name's Malcolm in the middle. But sorry to make that stupid joke, but he's a good guy, IRL. But I think, like this moment here too, because Tommy outranked them all in the war, right? He was at the highest medal, like highest rank you could get. That's why, like in the first episode, like even like Danny, who like refers to him like, yes, like Major Sergeant or whatever it was, Sergeant Major. What was it? It was a major of some kind, I think, right? But anyway, point being is that he's so respected because of the war, that I think even his older brother sees that and recognizes that, and is like, you know what, like, I'm kind of pissed about it, and I'm gonna begrudgingly like follow you. But even then, like, we're
I don't mind
now.
Like the idea of him begrudgingly handing it over. It's just they didn't do anything with it. It's I don't even recall there being an actual moment where he begrudgingly handed over authority. It just sort of happened, and I was like, oh, okay. But I mean, and usually to get to a point of begrudgingly handing over, there has to be the grudging part first, and we didn't really get that. So I'm just like, if you're not going to do anything really with the angle, get rid of it. and just make him the older brother coming in. I mean, because you added nothing by starting him in a place where he's subordinate to his brother, because it never really seemed like he was. I mean, the only thing I can think of that maybe they were trying to add is that he is so good that he would just take over that easily. But I'm like, yeah, okay, but if you're not going to do anything with his brother with this development, then you're kind of undermining the angle altogether. It's kind of useless. It's like, it's an opportunity to do something with the characters and you didn't. So I don't think that it added enough to justify it, at least so far. Like I said, if they revisit it and they do a good job with it, cool. We'll see. But so far, it's just like, it's kind of an elephant in the room thing where I'm just like, this is really weird that his brother is so cool with taking orders from Tommy when he wasn't in charge when the show started. It's like, oh, okay.
I mean, I don't have a younger brother, so I can't really speak to it, you know.
I have several.
Yeah, I mean,
if they ever try to take power, I will have fewer brothers. We can't be no Chinese takeover. That's 2 of the 3. Can't be doing that.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I don't know how many seasons we'll cover here on the show, but I forget what season it is that they talk more about it. It kind of circles back to their dynamic. I mean, there's a lot of them. I mean, there's a lot of moments between Thomas and Arthur, more later on, but yeah, it's this could be it too. The Michael Sonny play from The Godfather, perhaps. I have a little brother. He exists at my leisure.
I mean, they might have been trying to do that, but they haven't done that. That might have been like the angle they were hoping to achieve, but so far they haven't done anything like that. That's kind of what I'm asking for, really, is some kind of power struggle. Like, why are you asserting all this power? You're not in charge. What's going on here? It's like that's something where you could do a whole lot there with that angle, like a ton.
Knowing, well, yeah, I want to refrain from spoilers, but I think one way you could potentially look at it, because again, in that first episode, he is, Arthur is a little, he's frustrated, could it have been explored a bit more, and maybe in that first episode? Sure. Again, I think it's kind of the thing where, like, a lot, like, you just have to understand that he's upset about it, but then you don't see a lot more of it, because it's like maybe Stephen Knight just figures like it's implied, which doesn't always make the best sense. But I always looked at it as Arthur knew, as the days and months went on, especially within the episodes. Again, who knows what the actual time jumps were. But we know based on their sister's their sister Ada's pregnancy, there has been some time. So it's like maybe over the time that,
I don't think months is enough to resolve that without some kind of confrontation. I really like. Also, I think this is, especially if we're talking about either, well, I mean, just when we're talking power in general, somebody taking your power, like, especially if you're head honcho of something, and somebody swoops in and takes it from you. I don't care if they're family. That is going to bother you for a long time. That's not something you're going to get over. That's the kind of thing that in a family is going to likely cause a schism of sorts. Now, sure, you don't necessarily have to do something violent with it. It's like it could cause an inferiority complex. Like, there's a lot you could do. There's a lot of angles you could take. Leaving it just as, oh, he just accepted it. No. That is the worst thing you could do with that, because it's not remotely believable. It's like there should be either a power struggle or a horrible inferiority complex developing with the brother for just everyone accepting that, yeah, he's losing his power. I mean, it's like, if you're in charge, like, you're gonna have people who are loyal to you. They're gonna be people who be like, "Hey, dude, why are you taking this line down? What's going on?" Because I mean, there's generally, if you're in charge, you've got people who are, likely trying to ingratiate themselves to you, so and show their loyalty. That way, they can move up as well, and it affects more than just the individual. And I'm like, they really they did nothing with it. And I'm like, why didn't you just start with Tommy being in charge? Because you've created this plot thread and really done jack squat with it. And I'm just like, either do something or don't have it. And it's like, I really don't like that they had this at all, because they've just done nothing with it. And I'm like, boy, you all really missed an opportunity here to have something cool. But again, it's like, if they acknowledge this later and they do something to justify it, totally fine. It's just, it is kind of one of those things that, to me, it's like, wow, they've kind of surprised they've just let this linger, not even really mentioned it.
Yeah, I mean,
You
I think again,
drop little hints here and there that maybe there's something rotten in Denmark because old brother doesn't like having his power taken away.
Yeah, and I mean, I think in the 6 seasons that we have here, from what I remember, like, they're kind of just like chapters. But I would say too, like, yeah, like, it's the way, because Stephen Knight just wrote this by himself. I don't think he had anyone help write this. So again, is that always a good thing, or is it is it a bad thing? I it kind of just really depends on how it all pans out. But there are some things that do happen later that, again, I'm not going to get into. But I understand, like, getting to this point and kind of wondering, like, why that happened. I mean, could it have sped some things up? Perhaps, but it could also maybe have taken away from like other dynamics.
And the thing is, it's not like it's this thing that you have to turn into a conflict yet, as far as like, it's like, I mean, to me, it's like, this is, at minimum, I would at least like throw hints in here and there, like little lines of dialogue to show that he's not okay with the arrangement, or you just throw in little lines that show he's kind of jealous of what's going on, and just kind of be blown off, or maybe just have little moments here or there where he's like, hey, it's like, do you want to have a go over this or something? What's going on? And just, you can do little things to hint at something bigger down the road. But the fact that it hasn't been acknowledged at all, it's like, that's kind of strange. And it's kind of the polar, and it's kind of that his character is showing the polar opposite. Arthur is really, he not only doesn't seem bothered, he seems perfectly jovial with everything that's going on. It seems he actually seems like in a better mood these last couple episodes than he was in the first 2 episodes. So now, granted, you could even do something with that, if you if you want to avoid the conflict part, then you could maybe have a scene where he's like, I was bothered at first, but I actually was relieved when they put you in charge. You could even do that. Like, maybe he hated responsibility that big, and that's why you could explain his happiness. Like, no, actually, maybe they have a conversation where he's like, honestly, when they put me in charge, I thought you would be far more upset. He goes, oh, I was for a little while, but frankly, I was relieved that, to lose, to not have that responsibility on me. He's like, especially, and now seeing the way, what you have to deal with, I'm all the happier that I've done. It's like, you could do some really interesting things in various ways, take various angles with it. So yeah, I'm hoping that they'll do something cool with it.
Well, yeah, I mean, and again, like, knowing that there's 36 episodes total and we're only on episode 4, so there is plenty of room. But I mean, I think if you were ever watching this from the beginning, from day one, I mean, even then, like, if you're binging it even at that point too, like, you're kind of wondering what's going to happen on the way. But this scene was I thought was pretty well done too. Again, like, it's another test from Tommy, like, is just to kind of see what what she's all about. She's worried if he's gonna die, or she's gonna die, right? But then he's like, oh yeah, you're not Catholic, you're Protestant, which is kind of funny. But
now I'm laughing at what Shippy said.
Hold on.
Well, Nick kept giving me things to respond to. There was some back and forth. So yeah.
Bad timing. I liked this scene here too, though, because of that. Again, another test from Tommy, and I think the entire time, Grace is wondering, what is this angle he's actually going to try to get out of me, and is this a job? I mean, it's like, well, look, there's things I'm going to ask you of, but we do need someone. Our Arthur says you're good with money. We need someone of your stature. We need someone, that can dress the part, look the part, right? And so, I do think it was a good conversation, but she's worried about
and
her
there was
cover being
there
blown,
was
and
there
it's
was some
like, that doesn't happen
clever.
at all.
I do like the fact that he caught that she didn't cross herself, and
Mm-hmm.
so he's like, "Okay, you're lying to me. You say you're Catholic, but no Catholics walking in here and forgetting to cross themselves." So he's already establishing it's like, all right, he knows she's willing to lie. So there's part of me it's like, if she's the one who gave his new brother-in-law away, or I should say, if he's not the one who gave his brother-in-law away, well, then suspicion should be cast on her immediately based on this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Because who would be? And it's like, I mean, at that point, I don't know how you wouldn't start suspecting there's someone in our there's a spy in our midst. And who are you, the new chick?
Well, yeah, and that's kind of like what you can see, and again, just more kudos to Cillian Murphy. Like, you can see him processing things while Polly is chewing him out right there, and he's like,
"That weren't me.
Who I didn't do it. Like, did I do it?"
So yeah, that's part. I'm wondering. It's like, does he suspect her then? Because he should. I mean,
well, yeah.
I mean, granted, you could argue he's maybe a little bit blinded by, them feels, but
yeah, he's certainly going through the like everybody that's in his crew. Like, okay, was it John Boy? Was it Arthur?
Well, it's definitely not his brothers who would do it. That's definitely not going to be his brothers.
Unless
they'd be the
Arthur was pissed off, to your point, though, Gord.
Yeah, but they've done nothing to build towards that.
Yes.
So. Well, and again, honestly, I think that would make him the worst possible person to do it, because it's like you're going to try to wrangle Bristol Power back by screwing the family. That's not. I actually think if they were doing the Arthur Thomas thing, he'd be the last person you would suspect.
No, I know. I'm just joking, but yeah, he's certainly going through everyone that he knows about it, and then wondering who would have done that. But then it's like the camera kind of shifts, and you kind of see her demeanor when her eyes glance down, and it's like, boom, credits.
Well, yeah, and the camera's kind of like trying to point out, it's like she's the most likely suspect. And I'm like, gingers. Yeah, no, I mean, the funny thing is, I was just like,
half gingers.
What about the anagram for? Never mind.
Definitely not.
But like he's I'm like, she would be suspect number one, I would think, because, with Sam Neill's character being there, are you not considering the likelihood that he's going to try to pit spies in your midst? And she's one of the newest people around, and she's very quickly, got into your employ, and she's pretty. And I mean, I don't know if the term honeypot existed back then, but I'm sure the concept existed. I'd be thinking, am I being honeypotted right now? Because I didn't give my brother-in-law away. I'd be looking at her. I'd be like, whoa, I didn't do this. I'd be like, hang on.
Yeah.
I'd be looking right at her on this one.
Yep. Well, that makes episode
but we'll
5
see.
a bit
I'm
interesting.
curious if they'll do anything like that.
Yeah.
Because that you could do something really cool with that, where he's like, basically like pits her against the wall. It's like, did you do this? Did you say anything? What the hell? You could do something pretty cool there. Create some real tension in that relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And here's Miss Never Worked Vertical.
Miss Horizontal
life. Yeah, Miss Horizontal. But also Kings of Fighters. Thanks for the raid, buddy. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well.
I like this. I actually really liked this idea where he's like, his test for her is like,
oh, it's a great.
How do you test? It's like, how do you test a prostitute's loyalty? It's like, see if she still is one. And I'm like, that's simple, effective.
It's
Real. It's like
effective,
that's good. I was like, that's smart.
Forward. Yeah.
Yep.
And,
I mean, right when he's doing it, you're like, okay, I know exactly what he's doing here, and that's smart. I like it. Good
yeah,
stuff.
because it's like it's hold on, yeah, but it wasn't supposed to be a honeypot, just a spy.
Well, but I'm saying, but even
Yeah.
if that's not the intent of, you know, Sam Neill's character, if you're in Thomas Shelby's point of view, you would have to think that's a possibility. So you have to think of it. You don't want to think of it from the perspective of the person who sent her. You want to think of it from the perspective of the person who's being spied on, you know, or the person who's vulnerable in that sense. It's like, even if the original intent wasn't a honeypot, that is what's ultimately going on. You know, he's thinking, okay, who are the new people in our midst? Well, she is, and dang, she's actually gotten really close to me fast. You know, am I being honeypotted here?
Yeah, I mean, there's honeypots bring out the Pooh Bears. Yeah, they do.
I mean, yeah, just ask Eric Swalwell. Actually, that honeypot was sent by Pooh Bear.
Yeah, and I think for Tommy here, it's the fact that he's just talking about, you know, is the past the past? Okay, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. Okay, cool. So now we're starting off. We're starting off somewhere. Here's a pound. You know, and he's asking more questions. Yep. Okay. Here's another pound. Here's 3 pounds, and then he just puts the whole stack there and goes, "That's 8 pounds." You know, so how about before you meet with John Boy, you do whatever. How about one more time for the road? I mean, it's like you know, I don't know, be mean by any means, but what a dumb.
It's not mean. He's like, look, I mean, he's protecting. I mean, I think what he's doing is actually really good. I mean, it's good for the family. It's good for his brother.
Well, yeah, he's proving how dumb she is, though, too. Like, said the past is the past, and yet, like, he even says that. I thought you said the past was the past, and yet here you are willing to take this money because I just said, and like, oh yeah, let's do one more time for the road, and you're clearly, you know, willing to do this and take the money, even though you said you're not doing that, you're not this type of person anymore, but you also love my brother. Really,
I bet this scene would set off so many femcons these days.
Oh, 100%.
It's like, oh my gosh, it's like, hey, you're supposed to be compassionate to the reformed thought. And it's like, yeah, there's a thing about the reformed thought is that most of them aren't really that reformed. They're just whoring themselves in a new way.
OnlyFans?
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't really thinking about that when it was going, but after the fact, I was like, oh yeah, this kind of reminds me of a few things. But yeah, it's like, he's like, look, his brother is wanting to marry this girl who's got a very sketchy past. They all know who she is. I mean, he's like, hey, if you're really, I mean, and here's the thing, he's giving her a chance for real. He is giving her a chance to prove herself. So it's not like he's going to his brother and, you know, lying. If she had walked away and said, no, I'm not doing this, I actually do love your brother, I don't want to do this stuff anymore, he probably would have been a little bit more okay with the arrangement. Now, granted, doesn't mean he still wouldn't force it off, because obviously he's got bigger plans and everything. But, you know, he is in a way still at the very least giving her a chance to prove herself a bit. So, I was gonna say she blows this, but actually she doesn't. But she was gonna blow it.
She blew it in some way.
Yeah, she blew it in spirit.
Yeah, she got that money though.
It could have been made better if he still gave her the 8 pounds. He's like, okay, now get lost.
I'll give you the 8 pounds just to get out of my car now.
Here's your 8 pounds. Easiest money ever made. Now stay the hell away from my brother.
Well, it's interesting too how she even says, like, you know, you're half the man your brother is, and he's like, yeah, you're right. You are right. He ends up banging her again in a later season. I believe that's true.
I know she's in a lot more episodes. Like, actually, I've looked at the cast. She's actually one of the most common characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in like 27 of the episodes. So yeah.
A lock opened by many keys.
Mm-hmm.
A door that's been gone through many a times.
She's a 1-digit combination.
My keyboard. She probably would though. No, I'm just kidding. The keyboard.
How many pounds?
Yeah.
Just hit the pound key.
Poor John Boy is just like, I'm buffing this car. It's gonna be looking all nice. I can see my
yeah, but he came
reflection in
away
it.
so much better in this episode. I mean, he not only avoided marrying a whore, I mean, he got somebody better looking who, I don't know the status of that girl's virginity, but it's like, it's probably a lot more intact.
Well, I mean, you know, much like in the episode 3 where Tommy offers Grace up to Kimber, right? And then says like, no. I couldn't do it. My conscience. She's got the clap. I mean, who knows?
Jamma, does her big arc start at one foot and then make its way over to the other foot with the legs open apart? Is that the arc?
The McDonald's arc.
Cause whore.
She's got the twerking arc.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't want to get too much into that. But I mean, I think for the sake of knowing that she's in more episodes and you kind of see how this is played out, might, you know, say a thing or two. But you know, and I think this conversation too between Grace and Tommy here, well, candid, and you kind of see just their partnership, relationship, is you know, kind of just, I'll say it's growing. It's not special, but yet, however, the champagne bottle is that's a funny screenshot there. Unintentional. But it's interesting how she's still trying to, you know, stay in his good graces and do these things. But
this is one of this relationship is one of the things that they have spent time on that I still think has gone too fast.
Cause whore. Somebody back me up.
It's like, no, seriously. No, we believe you. We believe you. It's just how can we resist the jokes? How can we? But well, yeah, I just I think I still very much stand by what I said last week, that I wish she had been introduced maybe in season 2. I think introducing a spy in the midst of a family that we are still getting to know happened way too fast. I would have been much happier if this was done next season.
The end of season 1, I think, like,
way too, yeah. Or even if you'd started it then, like maybe introduce her and
like the season finale. Oh,
yeah, like you like maybe he sees her from afar. It's like, oh, she's pretty and everything, and then have her meet with Sam Neill, and he's like, okay, this is dangerous, blah blah blah. And you're like, oh, okay, he's bringing in a spy, cool.
Well, yeah, I think
this is an angle I think they fast tracked way too quick.
I think you
and honestly, I don't see anything in her character yet that I think that had to be in this season. I think you could have waited.
I mean, in retrospect, yeah. I think the better thing to have done would have been showing the struggle that Campbell has had to get the job done, and while he pleads with Churchill to let him stay, because he has a backup plan, and then you cue her in.
Exactly.
And then she comes in the picture, and so like we know because maybe there's a conversation that's had between Churchill and Campbell, but Tommy doesn't know. And he's just like
the blunt force approach didn't work. Now we got to get underhanded.
Yeah.
And he brings her in. It's like, all right, cool.
It's the sweet and sour.
Yeah.
Good cop, bad cop routine. But I think overall that would have worked a lot better. Because again, I think you know, there are some you know, later storylines that aren't as strong. And that I think if you would have fleshed things out more in the beginning seasons here, especially in season 1, it would have allowed the draw from seasons 2 and 3 to kind of spread farther down into seasons 4, 5, and 6, and would have made those seasons stronger. Which I think my criticism for the entirety of the show is that you got this ramp up from seasons 1, 2, and 3, and then it kind of starts to, roll back downhill. And I haven't even watched the movie yet. I know some people have watched it and have said like, you know, it's not
I have
good.
not
And
heard
I'm
good
like,
things about the movie.
yeah, which is it's disappointing. And I think that was always going to be a concern for me beforehand, because people are like, oh, like, watch it. I'm like, yeah, I'll watch it, but I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it. I'll really only watch it because of Cillian Murphy. And I don't know if I'll do some sort of review on it, perhaps, now that we've been kind of covering this first and potential second season. So, but yeah, I'd say this season is like a weird mix of going too fast and not going fast enough. Yeah, like you're like,
Yeah, because like
constantly shifting gears here.
there's so many plot threads in this season already. That's why it's like I even think that even if there weren't a ton of plot threads, I would have still saved her for the next season, because you spend this season kind of building Shelby up, showing how in control he is in charge, and maybe kind of have him get this victory over Campbell. And then it's like, okay, so how do we bring this guy down? Make it to look like, okay, at the end of this, he looks next to near invincible. And then you're asking yourself as an audience member, how are they going to how do you bring this guy down? And then you introduce Grace's character, and it's like bane of every man. You bring in the good looking woman who's going to try to get to him that way. And it's like, yeah, that's something I can buy into. It's a good little way to build things up and then try to poke away at it. Try to chip away the armor. It's like, all right, and that's going to add some intrigue and everything for the next season. But yeah, it's like the way they're doing it here, it's like they're trying to juggle way too much all at the same time. And some angles are doing a really good job. And it's not to say that everything they're doing between him and Grace is bad. It's not. There's plenty of good things in that angle. It's just, it would be far more meaningful if they had been patient and just waited on it.
Yeah. And Will and I agree. Perhaps one of the best bottom lip bites by any female in the existence of females.
Yeah, Rebecca Ferguson being in the movie, it's like she's pretty watchable.
You got me there. I mean, it's kind of one of the only reasons why I watched Silo, because the books.
I mean, I've heard the first season. I've heard Silo's pretty dang good.
First season's better than second season. Although I got the books, and I was talking to Niad about it because he's done like video reviews on the books themselves, which kind of also led me to go read them. I haven't read the third book just yet. So I think we're getting 4 seasons of the show. So they're kind of splitting up some things. But I mean, the books have definitely been far more enjoyable, which is always going to be the case. I think season 2 of Silo, not to go on a side tangent, but season 2 of Silo was really slow, and I just there's definitely some threads in that second season I just could not stand. Like I remember I covered like the first episode of season 2, and then I like waited, and I was like, oh, I'll have to catch up, and then I was like, I don't know if I want to cover this, because it's just I mean, maybe I should have in retrospect, but I think I would just end up dogging on the whole thing, because it's what made me want to read the book. And but I mean, we'll see what the third season is. I think the third season will probably be better than the second season, because like what I know they're including. So anyway, back to Mr. Shelby here. Interesting scene though, because you see an emo John here who's trying to smoke some opium because he can't think, and he's got a problem with his head hurts, and it's like, what are you doing smoking my pipe? But I think it's a nice conversation to his little brother here. It's like almost, again, Gord, to your point, maybe it's sort of the conversation in an older brother, and granted he's the middle brother, but he's also the kind of like, again, the assuming role of the head of the family. So it kind of makes sense for him to be giving this type of a pick me up. Like, it's not going to come from Arthur here. I think if anything, Arthur would have been like, if I could just get a bottle of liquor and just start drinking your sorrows down with me, little brother. You know, I think that's kind of what Arthur's approach would have been, whereas Tommy's is the complete opposite. You know,
quit your crying, your moaning, you little faggot.
You quit being a twat and just drink your
Or just smoking a little copium there.
Oh yeah, you want your opium? Oh, you don't know nothing. You don't know sorrows. Your heart's never been broken.
We're offending so many Brits.
I know. Sorry for the accent. Don't make me do Scouse. That might be worse, but I'm gonna start wearing 3-piece suits with pocket watches. Anyone else?
In?
You know, I thought about it was God, what was it?
No, I'm gonna go the opposite way. I'm gonna start wearing leotards with pocket watches on the back. It's gonna ruin the whole thing.
I was going to dress as Tommy Shelby. I think it was in 2018 and 2019 for MegaCon here in Orlando. And I did not. But women shouldn't wear suits. Agreed.
I actually agree. You see a lot of like women showing up at award shows wearing like suit-like outfits with ties.
No.
It looks awful. It looks so bad. It's like so bad.
It's just as bad as men wearing dresses.
It is. It's really awful. It's like, it's one thing if a woman just wears like kind of the white shirt with like the short sleeves and like the little kind of dainty tie on it. That can look okay. But the way they're doing it now, where they're trying to just have women wear like suit and tie, like, I'm like, that is so freaking awful looking. It's so cringe.
Yeah, like
it's a skirt suit, sure. I don't know how the pocket watch. It's like, I don't know. Have I seen a woman wear a pocket watch? I don't know.
So I was just thinking about it. I'm like, I don't know if I've ever seen a woman have a pocket watch. I don't think you see it in this show in particular, but I don't know what other shows would have had.
What, you think you're some kind of train conductor with your bloody pocket watch?
You can have a pocket watch, Beans. It's okay. They wear men's.
I want to have a pocket watch. I don't have a pocket watch. My brother has a pocket watch. I'm jealous.
I used to have one.
Why'd you make me jealous?
And now I want a pocket watch, but a good one, a fancy one.
Mm-hmm.
Don't listen to him, Bones. Bones.
You rock that pocket watch.
Put the pocket watch in your purse.
Well, that's a purse watch.
And it's just a purse.
Oh, see, she said the same thing. Same thing. Jinx, buy me a pocket watch.
I do like the shot though, just from a camera angle. And now I have to smoke my own copium.
Mm-hmm.
There's Arthur. I do like this though. So you have a see, it's what I'm saying. He's like, here, have a drink. That's Arthur's go-to for advice. Here, have a drink.
Yeah, he's thinking at first they're going out to like fight some people. And he's like, here, have a drink.
Some guys in the morning.
And then everyone's like, why are you all looking at me? And I was like, why are they all looking at him? What's going on here? And then he gives them, the little boutonniere or whatever. I was like, oh, okay, we're marrying the families together.
Yeah. They pull out the flowers. Psych. Yeah.
Then he's all like,
who are you?
It's like, what do you think you're doing? And everything. It's like, man, don't worry. He ain't gonna give you some nasty scrub. He's gonna give you some hot gypsy tail. You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
He'd be a terrible brother if he gave you some overweight, like McDonald's mascot looking chick.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's what he was freaked out about.
Well, until the unknown is known, that your worst fears are all going through your head. Like, am I gonna like kneel and feel her coming down the aisle without seeing her? Is that how it's gonna be?
Or to hear.
Although, yeah. It's funny when he's telling him, you're do this for the family. I kind of wish there was almost like that Michael Scott line where he's like, "Is she hot?" That was like I was like, if I were reviewing this, I would definitely put that clip in.
Yeah,
like, you got to do this for the family. He's like, "Is she hot?" Don't worry, man. She's like, granted, you could argue it's a little cruel that he didn't tell him flat out. It's like, dude, don't worry. She's a looker. You'll be all right. It's like,
but that's the type of, like,
if you're really wanting to make sure he goes through
brother, though.
Huh?
And that's the type of fuckery you would do with a brother, though, especially the littlest
well,
brother.
and you can even argue that there's an element of testing loyalty here, where it actually. And
why are you
could
chasing
maybe
Gypsy Tail,
the
Waylon?
argument that I wish you could argue from Tommy's perspective that he's allowing him to have, a character moment here where he's willing to do this even without seeing her. So from a narrative perspective, I'm glad he didn't tell her, but if this were to happen in real life, that's probably the first reassurance you want to give. Either you're going to totally, I mean, granted, you might argue it's like, no, we're totally going to mess with him. We're going to tell him. It's like, well, she looks like she hit a few branches down the ugly tree, but you'll manage. But most brothers be like, don't worry, you'll be all right. You'll be happy with it, I promise.
Yeah, now I have to buy a
gypsy. No,
I'll buy a gypsy for Waylon, but and I need to find that Rolex pocket watch now. I just did a quick search online. I'm like, how much could I potentially get one for? I don't know if I would want to buy one. Some of these designs aren't quite what I'm looking for, but there's some cheap ones out there for like $20. It's not terrible.
I mean, shit, you can get some Temu. You can go
Temu
full Temu on these and get some $5 pocket watches that
I see them. Yeah, that's exactly what came up. Rolex is spelled wrong. Men's.
They won't tell you time. They'll tell you wasted your money.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's see if we can find some legit ones, like old vintage ones. An old vintage.
Oh yeah, cool. And that's honestly, if I were to actually put some money down for a pocket watch, I actually would prefer an older one that maybe has not necessarily like famous history, but just some history behind it, like an antique. I'd want the antique.
I mean, there's some crazy ones out here. Some of them are actually not too bad. That are like 14K yellow gold. It's not bad, but yeah, I want something that's like a little bit more. I mean, look, you can go to K Jewelers and get a two-tone pocket watch, black and silver for $180. That's not terrible. I mean, if you're going to actually sport it and use it, and like, that's something that would be an actual like trendsetter. Like, it's in 2026. If you walked around out in public, not even wearing I mean, obviously you'd be more fashionable in a 3-piece suit, but the fact that you would just walk around and people be like, oh, he doesn't have like a a digital watch, or like taking out his cell phone to check the time. Like, nah, man takes out his pocket watch, looks at the time, and puts it back. I guarantee you, a lot of people are going to be stopping you and asking questions, just out of like, oh, what the hell is that? Like, pocket watch. Like, oh damn, let me see it. Like, oh, that's like legit. You're probably like compliments. So who knows? Maybe that'll be one of my merchandise. Maybe I'll invest in pocket watches and sell the Plot Strikes Back pocket watches. You never know.
You gotta scrote watches. That is the only option for this channel. You got to make the scrote watches.
Scrote watches.
It's like it can still be on a chain, but it goes down the front.
Yeah, always the front.
You're gonna feel this one ticking on your balls.
Beans, gingers are the ugly tree. I have to clip this and send it over my friend.
Wouldn't gingers be the root? Because ginger root.
I'm speaking from animosity here. My dad has a spectacular pocket watch. Who got it? My brother. Wait, is this Beans? Is this your little brother that you allow to exist? I think by being the older sibling.
Nope. No, pocket watches. I mean, I understand the animosity.
Take it.
Don't get me wrong.
Take it. It's yours.
That is a male heirloom. Pocket watches. That's kind of a masculine heirloom. So I'm gonna have to side with that decision.
Now, unless your brother's not masculine, then by all means.
Yeah, if your brother's like a gay little pussy, then no, you don't get no pocket watch.
Yes.
You have to literally no, if it's that way, then you actually have to make the brother hand the pocket watch to the sister, because it's like, hey, you man up. All right. You'll get your pocket watch when you when you bring home a gypsy. How about that?
Notice a lot of unresolved emotions and grunches. Yes, as ambassadors of masculinity here, we are granting you the right to take away that pocket watch. What's up, Rex? There's a clock on the oven.
Exactly.
I withhold comments from my brother's masculinity,
but I should happen.
That's fair. How is it like a pocket watch that's been like handed down in generations, or like did your grandfather have it before your dad, sort of thing, or is it just like your dad's now like that?
Was it like hidden like Christopher Walken style, perhaps?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
is it like a World War II heirloom or something like that? World War One. A pocket watch.
His granddad be damned if he'd let those greasy little slups have hands on his son's heirloom.
Oh, there we go. Great granddad.
Look at that. I mean, yeah, I still have to endorse this. I mean, if it's been passed down man to man to man, I mean, come on. It's kind of,
though,
you got to pass it down between the dudes at that point. I kind of have to agree with the decision there. This is just that Eve mindset where you got to rule over the men. No, you can't have the pocket watch. I'm sorry. You have to marry a guy with a good pocket watch that he'll let you use. It's like, hey, well, you're already married, so it's like maybe you have to say, hubby, you need a pocket watch that I can wear.
I was about to reference the Pulp Fiction thing. Yeah. I was like, should I just pull up that monologue from Walken? But
yeah.
Hey, I let him have it just like I let him exist. Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's like the reminder knowing that, like,
if it makes you feel better,
you have this.
If it makes you feel better, you can just say, hey, I let you wear my pocket watch. That's how you can tell him. That's what you can say.
Yeah, started saying like, hey, how's my pocket watch doing? Who knows, if you annoy him enough, Beans, perhaps he'll just like, you know what, you take the pocket watch. Who knows? Then your plan will have worked. I expect at some point, perhaps in the future, you might come into a stream and be like, guess what I have? My great granddad's pocket watch. And that'll be a celebratory moment that we'll pop that champagne bottle open. Every Thanksgiving. More like every holiday at that point. Every major holiday.
You should pickpocket him, and like on Thanksgiving you put the watch like in the turkey's butt. Like that could be like your own little Pulp Fiction joke.
Just keep at like, hey little bro, whatever your little brother's name is. Like, what's the what time is it? He keeps like maybe he'll check his actual like wristwatch or phone. Maybe one day he won't have like a phone or something like that on him, or because he knows his phone. And he like,
that would be actually a great thing to do. Like every time the family gets together, is if you ask your brother what time is it, and he doesn't look at the pocket watch, and then you just death stare at dad. It's like, gave it to the wrong person.
Yeah, the subtle.
You see,
hints.
He's like, you can be like, Dad, I would have checked my pocket watch if I had one.
Yeah, like, I don't know what time it is on my phone on me. But you do have a pocket watch. And no, you take it right at the moment and then check. Sitting at the table, glance at my empty palm, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Yeah. Just find out any sort of pocket watch, TikTok, not like the stupid app, but the actual like TikTok memes you could create, like from like Peter Pan and the crocodile. Just like leave like subtle clues, and just so he eventually kind of maybe picks up on it. Now monocle, that's the upper echelon thinking right there, Rex.
I mean, you can't. I mean, yeah. You kind of have to have both. I mean, you kind of can't have one without the other.
Yeah, but at that point, I think you also need a mustache.
Well, no, I take that back. You can have a pocket watch without a monocle, but you can't have a monocle if you don't have a pocket watch.
Right, exactly. First,
That's just
first
that's
comes
just no, that's not allowed. You
it's
can't
like
do
a
that.
tier. You start off with the pocket watch, then you can have a monocle, and then if you have like a dope ass, you know, mustache that's like styled, like I mean, you're just ranking up. You're on
Mhm.
you're in a different tier at that point. Every gift he gets now will be the It's changed his alarm to TikToks, like a metronome.
Mhm.
Yeah, I bought a pair of those opera binoculars and the little stick because I thought it was hilarious to pull them out on the bar and look at people across the room. What are you looking at? I'm looking at you, sir. Oh, fine. How do you do? Just look at the bartender while I look at you. Sir, I'll have another one, like this close to his eye. 30 years old, by the way. Yeah. It's like Waylon. Waylon's like 25 and he's trying to chase gypsies and get an arranged marriage.
Yeah.
Should get him a watch fob beans. All right, let's finish this episode here.
But yeah, gives him some. It's like, hey, you got to do this for the family. Got to stop this war from happening. And hey, to his credit, he's like reluctant at first.
He manned up.
Takes it in stride. Yeah, he mans up. He's like, okay, I'll do it for the family. I come in looking chill, present myself to the gypsies. Like he'll do.
Arthur does crack a joke right there, and I forgot what it was because he kind of laughs for a second.
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, I know you're right, but yeah.
But yeah, it's a good moment though. I think especially, I mean, it gets a little interesting too when Ada suddenly shows up, and you know, it's like, oh, you showed up. Oh, where's but Freddie? Tommy's like, oh, but Freddie didn't. Yeah, here's a little glance over. I mean, she's not bad looking. I think
she's quite
suitable.
Pretty. She's very pretty.
No makeup or anything like that. Like all natural. I think she's a good.
I actually, when I saw her, I was like, you'll be just fine. That's a pretty girl. That's a pretty girl.
And I think that's when it's like literally right after this. Yeah, I mean, he's got a big grin on his face. It's like,
yeah, he's like, hey,
Bruvs.
I'm all right with this. I'm all right with this.
Rex, that's an Irish 10, guys.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, here's the thing. I actually think even like, in a good spot, she's like a 7. But yeah, she's an Irish 10 for real.
I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, everyone has their different, for the most part, ratings, but I'd say most guys have like similar, rating from the looks perspective. But
yeah, she's not like supermodel gorgeous or everything. But yeah, you look at it, it's like it's a pretty girl.
Well, like I think
pretty girl.
And I think between the women that you see in the show here, right? Like you've got Grace.
I'll be honest. I think she's better looking than Grace. Grace's nose kind of, and I'll be honest. I'm not particularly fond of blondes for the most part. Yeah. I actually think like between like brunettes, blondes, redheads, I have blondes kind of on the lower end of that. I prefer brunettes personally, and brunettes with dark eyes. I'm like that's best. But I actually think she's considerably more attractive than Grace. Grace has kind of got an ugly nose. She's not ugly altogether, but that nose kind of not great.
Yeah, no, Jammer brings a good point. Beans, you'll be back, right? And if you'll all have me. Mean, phrasing, of course, right? Like, we're not gonna, we'll have you join us in that matter of sense. And listen, you
has
subscribe
Beans
for
before,
free.
Just out of curiosity, I can't remember.
What's that?
Because I know Beans from my channel because she's sometimes in my chats. Has she been here before?
No, as the first time I've
okay,
her in the chat, so I appreciate it. But listen, I will do everything.
Yeah, I brought that up, everyone. Beans is married. She's got a guy, but Beans is cool.
I will do everything in my power to help you get that pocket watch.
Yeah,
I'm just asking for your subscription. That's it.
We'll do a Beans pocket watch stream. All super chats go to go to the Pocket Watch Fund.
I'm going to plot to get that pocket watch for you.
Yeah.
I have my rating system pretty down. Wayfarer, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? Yes, like and subscribe, good people. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know what this chick's name is. They don't say it.
Waylon says her name's Esmeralda.
Oh, or is it Esme? Is it Esme?
Well, Esme would be short for Esmeralda. So.
Yeah. I think she actually says Esme though.
Probably. I mean, yeah, but.
My bad.
Is it Renesmee?
Gingers are gross.
I mean, I don't know. I've actually seen quite a few redheaded women that are pretty hot, but
I know for sure. There's definitely.
But here's the thing: the weird thing is like there tends to be like a very tight spectrum when it comes to redheaded women. They're either really like none of them, like very few of them reach like the level of like being like supermodel gorgeous. There are a few exceptions, but most of them are just like pretty or ugly. There's not a lot of mid in that. But I think brunettes. I think brunettes are best.
I'm guessing Beans is a brunette.
Actually, I think Beans might be a ginger. And she just has this self-loathing.
It could also be true, though.
I have no idea. I can't remember if Beans has ever said.
Oh, I just put it on the spot.
I don't think I've ever met an actual redhead that wasn't related. See, I thought maybe she had brought that up before. And gotcha. I thought maybe she had said that before.
One of my best friends, he's ginger, but he always says half ginger. And I'm like, that's still half ginger. So that's the part that is soulless. In a lot of our group chats, we'll just send any sort of like gifts that have
Waylon likes Latinas. Just watch.
I shall refrain from saying what I think is best. Go for it.
Well, if it's men, yes, continue to refrain, but I don't think it's men.
Wait, Shippy, you're a ginger? I didn't know that. I think God makes us find each other gross to save the world's sunscreen supplies. Yeah, you're doing his work. And I would say there's some good looking gingers out there though.
I got it right. It's Latinas.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I don't think you should hang your head in shame. No. Pretty Latinas. There's a pretty good variety, and a lot of like good looking Latinas hold their beauty a while.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of good looking Latinas stay pretty for a while. Some don't, but there's a decent chance at least.
Rangas. Oh my god, dang.
That's even funnier because Beans, anytime I see Beans, I think of Rango because in Rango, the female lizard he falls for is named Beans. So the fact that redheads are called Rangas and that sounds like Rango just makes that better.
True. We know
Latinas are pretty because me liking dark hair, and they tend to have dark eyes, so
that's true.
Latinas are great. I got nothing against Latinas. The only problem is so many of them,
you love the chaos.
Latinas are probably second or third on the totem pole for me. I think a good looking Italian woman is probably to me the best looking. But the problem is with Latinas and Italian women, they tend to be Catholic. I'm like, I don't want a Catholic.
Yeah, I gotta convert them. Sorry.
Yep.
Gotta convert them. I'll show
up at one of their houses. Like, how'd you find out where I lived? I orthodoxed you.
That's the problem with Nadia too, Catholic.
She's Persian though, so that's the other problem.
No, she's not Persian.
I thought she was Persian.
Mm-mm.
She's Middle Eastern. I know that. I'm pretty sure she's Middle Eastern.
Well, she's Jordanian, which isn't Persian.
Oh, Jordan. Well, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Jana is Persian.
Jana's Persian. That's who I'm thinking of.
But I think Jana's Catholic though.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah,
I already know that.
Yeah. So, you could take all
Because
the
Jan and
scored-
Copa.
Yeah.
She's Copa's wife.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Papi, that's that.
Hey, Papi. Nadia's
Papi pumpkin.
She's pale. She's not quite white. She's pale.
Pale. She's so pale the pale horse doesn't even see her.
Yeah.
She
just like she's like a mirage in the desert.
Where's Nadia? I'm right here. I can hear her name in the false winds. We're about 75% of the way to this racial tier list. We can bang out racism and misogyny and fell swoop. Yeah, we're fixing it right here, right now.
Yeah, we got some ginger. We got some love for the Latinas. You got me over here representing, the Caucasians and the Asians. Showing some affinity for the Italians, and we're talking Persians and Jordanians.
Yeah. I have my Italian and my my European and Western side of me, but this chat is my favorite thing today. That is amazing. I'd say the stream is.
I should take offense to that because she was in my chat earlier, but I'm like, no, I get it. There's more people around here.
It counts because you're also here, so it's.
Well, no, there's more, and there's more conversation in this one because we have a subject that we're.
That's right.
Yeah. It's a little different dynamic.
Nadia looks like an albino hitchhiking in a snowstorm. She's definitely not going to come back to YouTube after that.
White got to be last in 2026. I don't know about last, but it's definitely falling down the tier list.
Second to last. I mean, I think you're going to get into like what type of white tiers,
Yeah.
Russian.
In that case, yeah, exactly. It depends on what kind of white are you? It's like you have to.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. We're talking American white women. It's like, yeah, they're a lot closer to the bottom.
Yeah, Irish white, Gypsy UK white, Scottish white, which again, you're getting into the redhead territory. So, yeah, best thing in the last 8 years for me. That's awesome, Gemma. Yeah, let's rub our open wounds together, and now we have tuberculosis. Or no,
I was like, seriously, no rings. You're just gonna cut each other. Okay, sure, fine.
I forgot that part, and I was like, oh, I don't know if that's healthy because when's the last time you? Even one thing, if you maybe had that knife over a nice hot fire for a while, and somehow maybe cleaned it, but knowing they're gypsies, probably not. So, yeah, you got to swap a Greek woman's body wash with Nair for your own sake. Sloppy doesn't count. I mean, CA white. I've seen some hot Scottish girls.
Yeah,
Have you heard them talk though?
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah,
as long as they don't do it
much.
As long as they don't do it much, but that's true of all the women though.
If I marry a Slavic or an Irish gypsy white in a second, I'll go live in the forest, whatever they do. You like dogs? I was gonna make a joke. That's what
Slavics might be my number 2. Yeah. Say what you will about Ukraine as their government, but Ukraine actually has a lot of really good looking women too. Like Ukraine has legit some really good looking women. I mean, granted, they're kind of all. I kind of think they're all traps. I think that's what they're there for. They're trying to get you to donate to their war effort or whatever. But still, it's working. I'm just kidding. I don't donate anything, but
that'll be a tier. Let's talk.
That actually would be a hard strategy because I mean I can understand doing it because probably like there's a lot of Russian women that are really good looking too. So you could argue they're probably both sides are doing that. You need to get the American men to donate to us quick. It's like that's like part of the Ukrainian and Russian war efforts is they like every woman has to get on OnlyFans and raise money for like more weapons and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Look at him having a gay old time.
I actually wouldn't be surprised if that's like going to be or is like an actual position in their military at some point. It's like, well, there's a one way we can get money for all this. Sell your bodies, ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Online honeypots.
OnlyFans, go.
This guy donated 30 grand and military secrets.
Yeah, this is an annoying part.
Yeah, she got all drunk and like
Drunk with your child.
I don't know why, but like maybe it's, I mean, granted, I'd never get blackout drunk. I don't do that. I never have done that, but I've been intoxicated before. Am I weird for actually having my mental faculties mostly in place to where I don't act like a complete retard? Because it seems like every time in the movies or a show, like somebody gets drunk, they don't act like themselves. And I always find that really strange.
I mean,
like I understand the notion of like losing your inhibitions to a point, but
yeah,
it completely changing your character. There's and I'm like, oh, she's acting way different, but she's drinking while pregnant too. So I'm like, wow, that's kind of awful.
Yeah, and you're kind of showing signs of being a bad mother here.
You're not killing any like UK stereotypes about fetal alcohol syndrome, that's for sure.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen, I've had plenty of nights and times of drinking, in my heydays. And I don't do that anymore. I think the last time I'd say I drank a lot, which wasn't even a lot. I'd say it was with MegaCon. You know, I could have kept drinking. I just got to that point where I was like, we're having a blast, and you know, I'm still very receptive to what's going on. But the fact that it was late and it was 1 o'clock, and you know, we're all like hungry, so went to IHOP, and that was a great decision after all of us were drinking a lot. And now Leon was quite I don't know how drunk he was, but he was definitely slurring his words a bit, which is hilarious. And again, it was a great night. But in the times that hold on, I'm not gonna comment on drinking. Yeah, Waylon and Blue commenting on drinking in the chat. Even though Blue's not here right now, I know he'll listen to this. I'm sober now. Me and Jimmy on DD duty. It's my whole ass. But like, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. Beans like I only will drink or like be okay with getting drunk.
I actually like Shippy's other comment. Russians are either 1s or 10s. I wonder if that's why it's called Russian roulette.
That's true.
I would say no, because you can actually see the bullet in the chamber in that case.
Yeah. There was only a couple.
Only if if it's a mail order bride thing, then yeah, then that's basically Russian roulette. If you don't get to see the photo first.
I don't know if you guys have watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but there was an episode where I think they coined the phrase browning out, where it's not quite like blacking out, because the more you rehash the story in your whereabouts, the more you remember. There's been
hold up. I have to correct the record on something that I can't let this slide. Blue started drinking at 1 p.m. today. Waylon, Blue started drinking at 1 p.m. Thursday.
He started drinking yesterday.
He doesn't. There's no intermittent fasting. There's like running out and then having to go get more.
Personally, I'm partial to Woodford Reserve. A woman of good taste. Yes, I just finished.
That's a Kentucky one, isn't it?
Kentucky bourbon.
Or is that Illinois?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Woodford Reserve. I mean, granted, most bourbon is.
There's a lot
Kentucky,
of good,
or at least a lot of good ones are.
Yeah, there's a couple of good bottles. I was
the distillery is here. I know that much. It's in what our Kentucky folk call Versailles, Kentucky.
There we go, Jax. Jax knows what I'm talking about. Mac coined that.
I hate having to go along with that, by the way. I hate that we call it Versailles when I know that's not how you pronounce it. But I'm like, literally, if I called it Versailles, I would be the only person in Kentucky calling it that. The only one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's something I might do this year is go on the Kentucky bourbon trail. Actually, I wanted to do that back in 2024 and didn't get the opportunity.
Not actually. There are bourbons that are not made in Kentucky. It's just it's like we're basically the place that, started it. It was actually started by like bourbon was first, I think, brewed by like a Baptist minister in Bourbon County, which granted that's, Bourbon County. That's why it's called that. So
Versatile.
Heavy
on the versatile. Shipper, you forgot the entire. There are Texas bourbons and some. Yeah, so like Breckenridge distilleries. I've had a couple bottles of their distillery. They've got some good stuff. There's St. Augustine, Florida. Has some pretty good.
No, Waylon. I'm saying the county. I'm pretty sure the county is named after bourbon, because that's where it was, like where that particular minister first started brewing it. I don't know. Like I think the county was called something else. It's just now called Bourbon County.
Yeah, I was at the ABC Wine and Total Wine, some liquor stores here, and I was just kind of looking at Demerara. Or how do you pronounce it again? Demerara. Sugar. Demerara. I forgot how you pronounce how you.
I don't know.
Anyway, for simple syrup, and which I actually like. But I was just kind of perusing the aisles. I was like,
Demerara.
Yeah, Demerara. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. To make, because I've been on a huge whiskey sour kick. Love whiskey sours, and the correct way, using egg whites for the froth. But I like old fashions are definitely like my go-to if I'm not like drinking like it neat or on the rocks. But there's definitely some I will not mix because I'm like, no, this is just too good to mix. I have to drink it neat or on the rocks. Like I have a really good bottle of Elijah Craig, a special batch that I do not mix with anything. And I don't mix my Eagle Rare. 10-year. I will only drink that neater on the rocks. And like I have these like stone rocks, just to cool it. But it doesn't water it down as well, which is nice. I'm sure people have had those, but go-to is JD. Dude, their single bear is pretty good. Not gonna lie.
I figured you were joking, Rex. When you said it, I was like, I'm pretty sure that's not real, but man, that does sound like that. Like that sounds like a gay drink if I have ever heard. You want some sparkling whiskey?
Blanton's. I was looking for some Bland's. I would have bought some, but they were all out. But Bland's is so good. I still have a bottle, and I that's another one I don't mix as well.
Old fashions are good. I like old fashions.
Yeah, I love Angel's Envy. Do people sleep on Angel's Envy and Four Roses? Those are both.
Oh yeah, Four Roses is really good.
Yeah. What else do I have? I just finished.
Actually, had a friend. His wife was like a tour guide at their distillery.
Yeah, I just finished both bottles. I think I'm completely out of Woodford Reserve now.
It's kind of funny, like if you get a job at a distillery, they do like financial background checks on you because they there's the concern about like if you have debts, you could start like stealing alcohol and selling it. I found that really funny because there's a lot of distilleries around here. We actually have a pizza place that is actually in an old I think it's an old bourbon distillery. It's actually a really cool atmosphere. It's not like a great pizza place, it's fine, but the atmosphere is really, really cool because of the old distillery. It's pretty neat.
I have heard of that. Have you also heard of Whistle Pig? Whistle Pig's good.
Whistle Pig. I don't think I've heard of Whistle Pig. I don't think I've heard of that.
Whistle Pig.
Chicken cock sounds redundant, to be honest.
Yeah, it does. Maybe it's done on purpose.
Yeah.
You don't like scotch,
Like
Waylon?
it's like saying donkey ass or something.
Yeah. Dude, I have some good scotch.
Oh, good. I thought. Oh, okay. I'm glad that sentence ended with scotch and not donkey ass.
No idea.
I've had some good donkey. I've had some good Jack Double ass.
So the some people might know this, but the guys from It's Always Sunny, it's like Charlie Day, Rob McElhenney, and oh my god, what's his other name? Who plays Dennis? I'm blanking at his name. They came out with it's a Irish whiskey and American. I think what do they call it? American rye and Irish whiskey combo. Glenhowerton, yes. Called Four Walls. I got a bottle of that. It wasn't expensive at all. It was like maybe $30 or $35. I've been using that as a mixer with my old fashions, and that's good. Again, it's not super expensive. It's again, it was only like I think $30. But that's a good one just to kind of sip on. I don't like it like neat, but when I decided to mix it, I'm like, oh, this is actually really good. So Redbreast 12 is my favorite Irish whiskey. I don't know if I've had that. I live near the Bourbon Trail. I had to get a bottle of Bland's from Texas. Impossible to get, overhyped a bit. I like it to maybe special bottles. Ooh, nice sherry cask bottle there. I don't know if I'd say Bland is overhyped. I think it sucks that it's been too hyped up. The fact that you can't buy it now. But I think it was a good
that would kind of definitionally be overhyped though.
I mean,
or maybe maybe you mean like overexposed, like it is actually lives up.
Correct.
Maybe
it
lives up to the it lives up to the hype, but you wish more people, like fewer people, knew about it.
Because you saw it a couple different movies too. Was it Bond? One of the Daniel Craig movies. I think he drank Blanton's. I think in the first or second episode of Terminalist Dark Wolf, he orders Bland's at the bar because it's like, oh, it's kind of a good one. Buffalo Trace, yeah, the Buffalo Trace.
I like Buffalo Trace. It's pretty good.
Yeah, 1792's got some good options. Yes, that's right. He orders Bland's when he's at the hotel Continental. Yep. Maybe that. I wonder
exactly. Shelby, we've totally derailed the stream.
No. It's all relative because they're at a bar here drinking. We're just talking about drinks as if we were laughing and enjoying this sudden time. Remember, this is a moment where the boys drink because the woman is giving birth. So, well, what else are we going to do?
Yeah.
So we're essentially having a conversation just like the Shelby bros, and me being Nikki Shelby. We're all in. This is like we're one family here. Essentially, we're just chatting about good bourbons and whiskeys. So, this is all conducive to the stream in the story at hand here. This is not derailed whatsoever. I have spoken.
There you go. It's fine, Beans. I'll be honest. Like, I don't spend a lot on I mean, granted, I don't drink all that often, to be honest. I do sometimes. I don't think I've ever really spent a ton on stuff. There are some cheaper brands I think are garbage. Like, I'll be honest, I'm not a Jim Beam fan at all. I think Jim Beam tastes terrible.
I'm not either. That's yeah, I'm not a big.
Probably my favorite. Fan. I mean, granted, this is not particularly hard alcohol. It's maybe 30%. There's I don't even fully remember what the brand's even called. It's just kind of a whiskey that has a kind of a cider flavor to it, and I'm like, yeah, that's actually kind of great. And it's like I'm totally cool with that. It's it's like $20, and it's like, that'll do. That'll do. Granted, it's easy to drink the whole. It's easy to down the bottle in a couple of days if you're not careful. But like I said, it ain't super strong. It's probably really sugary though, for real.
Yeah, there's a couple like inexpensive brands that I like.
Southern Comfort I actually really like. That's cheap.
Oh, I got really drunk off of that once, and I did not
Southern
touch that
Comfort,
stuff
like
anymore.
there's like a caramel Southern Comfort that they gave like
Everyone's
samples away of once, like during Christmas a few years ago, that my brother and I tried, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is freaking amazing. I wish we had bought more, but we bought like a bottle, and I was like, that was gone really fast.
Yeah, as soon as I saw Shippy say, I think Jack Daniels tastes like ass too. I was waiting for this take. Shippy eat my whole entire. Shippy Blue would say the same thing too if he were here. $60 bottle of Woodford's Last Husband and I had a decent amount of time for you to disclose. No, please disclose. This is a safe chat here.
It's not. Don't.
I'm lying just like Grace is. Oh, dude, I can't taste. Yeah, dude. That was
kind of does. That's I'm like, yeah, it kind of tastes too good. That's an easy one to get drunk off of if you're not careful.
It is. I drank a fifth of that and regret every moment. But that was in the rock star days.
Yeah.
Look who's running back to town. Freddie Thorne.
The commie. The bloody commie.
Oi, Commie's got a commie baby now. Nah, I won't degrade the baby like that. It's a Shelby baby.
Yeah. Poor child grew up with a beta dad.
Anyway,
as I was saying,
yes, this communist has come back.
This fucking commie.
I'll tell a story at the end of the stream after this, but
see, this isn't believable. I can't imagine a communist looking so lovingly at a child.
Yeah, you know how much it's gonna cost us now? Well, could have pulled out, bud.
And it's sad because it's like it's one of the few moments where "our" is appropriate. You can say "our child." It's like it's one of the few times a comic can say "our" and it not be entirely cringe.
Yeah, Knob Creek makes this one.
I just can't get past the name.
What?
Knob Creek.
Yeah, no.
It's just
they make a good
drinking knob.
Maple,
drinking the knob.
I just say Creek, Bottle Creek.
I didn't particularly like it. I'll be honest. Like my brother had some around Christmas, and I tried it, and I was like, I didn't care for it. I didn't really care for it. Kind of tasted a little bitter to me. I was like, nah. But yeah, this was some fireworks in this scene, and he was like, "What? I didn't do it."
The hell you just say to me, woman? Yeah, because she's super pissed about it. I mean, you could see like just good.
Well, this angle, like I'll get like it's like we've kind of
good acting
gone over a bit why you could argue this angle didn't need to be in the show, but from this particular aspect of it, they have done the legwork to justify this reaction because the mother has been kind of the person most invested in their marriage. So her reacting this way, thinking, he sold out his friend and got him taken away. I'm like, yeah, it's understandable. The reaction's understandable. It's like, yeah, this is actually all pretty good. I actually quite liked this part. I was like, yeah, that's good stuff.
No, yeah, this was good. I mean, I think it's a good way to end the episode too, where it's, you're like, well, we didn't see that happen unless, that was something that was intentionally not shown. But yeah, he's just going through like, I'm a bit baffled right now. There's these accusations here, but
this aggression will not stand, mother.
Yeah, like Polly, I know you're the matriarch and all, but like, Why would I gave my word. So
Well, he's surprised it happened. Like
right,
that's
you
the
know,
other
for
thing. So
sure.
there's kind of there's a lot going on probably in his head. Like, whoa, wait a minute. You're accusing me. It's like this. I can't believe this actually happened. And if it's not me, who is it? So there's a lot going on in this scene. I'm like, yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, I like the way that the camera angle is telling you know, part of the story in the picture here, because it's like, well, the foreground to background, you know, transition, and like ironically she's looking directly at the camera. I don't know if that was intentional or not, or just sort of like a coincidence, but she's looking directly at you. If you're looking at the screen right now, she's looking directly at you at the camera. So it's like, we know who did it.
I mean, you could. Well, this is
She looks down too, I think. I don't know if I didn't get it, but she looks down after that too. So again, it's pretty interesting. That it's like he's just not even. It'd have been one thing if he looked over at her as like oh my god,
that'd have been too much. If he looks over
yeah,
at
that's what
her,
I'm
then
saying.
the game's up.
So it kind of has to almost be this way. But I enjoyed it though. It fit rather well.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good way to cap off the episode.
Yeah, this is Grace, the blondie. Okay, we found Rex's pick here. Yeah, Beans, the episode Waylon is referring to was
it's a lot of fun stuff. Like that last hour and a half or so of that episode, from about the point where it goes from the turtle discussion to all the scrote jokes. It's really fun.
Yeah, that's where the scrote cam.
I'm sure the rest of the episode's good too, but I really wasn't able to pop in until that
towards
point.
The end, yeah.
So that's the part I got to see the most of because I was editing that night. But yeah, from the time it gets to probably about 20 or so minutes before Sammy has to bow out till the end, it's pretty great.
Yeah, that's like a whole what did we call it? The entirely separate video that could have been called for the plot hole.
Yeah, the plot hole.
New channel to be made in the future. I'll just go back and grab that clip from it and just upload it. I think that was also when Waylon was giving his review of his masculinity score, and there was something in the chat.
I think Blue popped in with a chat that
Blue or he did like a dono or something like that. But man, like
well, I know Blue piped in with a super chat, kind of poking fun at that.
Oh god,
which is pretty funny
because we were all laughing.
Yeah,
no, Blue was
before
on the stream. Yeah. Someone said something in the chat.
Well, no, Blue sent a super chat while being on stream.
He's on the stream. That's right. Yeah. And we were reading it, and I think people responded. Okay, it was Blue, and like poor Waylon's just going on, and like I'm trying not to laugh, and like
failing.
I failed so bad. It was late. I'm like, I can't hold it back anymore. It's fine. But that was a good stream. That was
then Molly comes in with a story about how like she would give turtles to an old lady, and then found out later the old lady was cooking them.
Giving it to her.
And we kind of couldn't let it go for like a half hour. We went on for like 15-20 minutes about it and then stopped talking for another 20, and then it came back up. It's like kind of can't let this go. This is funny stuff.
Oh, it was so good. Yeah, so good. Beans, that's awesome. I'm glad you had fun. Yeah, next week
Beans.
We'll talk episode 5.
Got 2 left.
Yeah, 2 left, and season 1 is done. You know, and again, that's kind of like where these short seasons make it interesting to talk about in its entirety. And then, like I said, we might cover season 2 and then move on after that. Also kind of need to see what else is coming around show wise. Likewise, are you East Coaster? Okay. Yes. Have a good night. thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. And yeah, I stream on Monday nights as well. Gord also pops in there, and
I was
yeah,
on
Tuesdays.
yesterday.
He was on last
True
night,
Romance.
Yeah, True Romance is a good.
Which
movie.
we were talking about that on my stream because Beans. I actually found out several people we know haven't seen it. So Beans hasn't seen it, so I was kind of selling the movie to her. Also found out Jacob hasn't seen it, Jacob Ironside. And then I found out my buddy Israel hasn't seen it, so I'm gonna get a few of them together and do a watch party and be like, okay, we'll watch. I was like, we're watching True Romance. This is a must.
Yeah, like I noticed that too. Like when Leon rated into it, like there's like a few people that hadn't seen it, and I'm like, y'all haven't seen True Romance? What the hell are you doing?
Especially like Whitey didn't surprise me too much because I mean, he's not like constantly watching movies. I mean, he does like a bunch of other stuff and everything. I mean, he's fun to have talking about a movie because he's not a movie guy almost. That's really kind of the thing.
Yeah.
So it didn't surprise me too much. Israel didn't surprise me, I guess, a ton, maybe a little, but he is in his like early 20s. So I was like, okay, I can kind of understand that. But yeah.
I mean,
Jacob surprised me a little bit. I was like, I would have figured Jacob had seen it. So
that, and I'd also say maybe, I mean, initially I thought it was going to be, I thought Leon had seen it. When he said he had it, I'm like, oh, I gotta change that. So, changed his life there.
Mm-hmm.
But
we gotta wrap up because I gotta pee.
Yes. And I'm gonna go.
And I didn't even drink any booze.
True Romance watch party? Yeah, why not?
Yeah. I'll let you know when I've got it ready.
Yes, you have, Rex. What are you lying about? Now, Rabdad has not seen movies, and we all know Nadia hasn't because she's the queen of not seeing movies. But she is improving. Anyway, we're on here. Listen, chat, you guys were amazing tonight. I mean, you usually are, but yeah. Hope you guys have a great night.
What would you rate this episode?
Ooh. Maybe like a 7 out of 10.
Okay. Now I rated it a 6. I think it leaves enough to be desired to where I can't quite go into what I map onto the good category. I think it's just short of that, but it does enough well to where I'm like, yeah, it's all right. It's solid.
It is like, yeah. I mean, I think it does more things better than not. But there's a lot. This is still more build up, fortunately, but unfortunately. So, but yeah, like these next 2 episodes should definitely start to solidify more, and then obviously kind of cap it all out. But yeah, Thursday night I think I'll be streaming a game. I'm not sure what game. I might be doing some more pirating and maybe Sea of Thieves. Although people keep telling me to get Windrose. So I might do that. We'll see. I don't know. I was kind of holding off a bit because I want to fix some stuff first. But Sea of Thieves is fun. I enjoyed that last week. And then I'll be doing my Nick at Noon Fridays. I have a couple ideas of what I'm going to talk about, but still kind of just perusing some ideas that I think are interesting and kind of mean more to me. But the next Monday night, 50th episode, we're talking Akira Kurosawa, Seven Samurai. Cannot wait. We got Mo Zamboni will be joining us for the first time on a Massive Monday. So it should be fun. Looking forward to it. When are we doing Maul Shadow Lord breakdowns? That was one of the things I thought about talking about, Jamma, because no one is talking about it. The only people I know that are talking about the show are Star Wars Theory, which kind of has to, and then I've seen Badger post stuff about it, and like that's it. I don't know, and Rossi, but I don't know anyone else that's been watching it. I mean, I'm watching it because I'm just kind of like curious in case I end up having to talk about it or want to talk about it. But no, you weren't. You're watching too, Jamma. Don't lie. Don't lie to me, boy. But yeah, it's interesting that fact that no one is talking about it. I don't even know what the ratings are. So yeah. Well, I can't do those without
there's like
Vex.
I have seen like next to zero conversation about that show.
Yeah, there's been a few things that I have not really seen a lot of people talk about, which is I think it's just, and maybe that's something I'll mention, or maybe that'll be my talking point, is the fact that you've got Maul, Shadowlord, Daredevil, The Boys, and Invincible, and no one is talking or saying anything good about any of them.
Nope. I've seen a good amount of discourse about like I've actually seen probably the most about Invincible because of all the PNG stuff.
Sure,
you
see
funny.
negative things about it, right?
Yeah, like and I've seen a little bit about The Boys, none of it good, and next to nothing about Maul. Like I actually have a feeling that if you went to IMDb, Maul might have a decent like IMDb rating, because I'm guessing those are that the only people rating it are the people who wanted to watch it and think it's good. I'd almost be willing to bet that's the case. So I don't think anybody who hates Star Wars is giving it a watch.
Yeah, so IMDb rating is, I'll just share it real quick and then we'll end it. Sorry.
Hey, Molly,
we're talking about you in a good way, of course.
Doodles. Called it 8.5. That's a good rating for a show. That is a good rating.
That have almost just under 6,000 ratings.
I mean, it's not a ton of ratings, obviously, but TV shows tend to get a lot of TV shows don't get a ton of ratings. But I mean, it's like that's like 8.5. Now, granted, that would probably go down if you had more exposure. So, but yeah, it's like 8.5 from the people who want to see it. Like for comparison, obviously, this show has had way more ratings. Like I think it's like probably 700K or if I remember correctly. But yeah, this show rates like an 8.7. So not much higher, but obviously way more people are watching. But yeah, this is being rated almost exclusively by people who still give a crap about Star Wars. And there ain't many.
Yeah, I mean, I did see a clip from Theory today that said it was like people voting in his chat, and the majority people did give it either a 9 or 10, and then it's kind of the same trend here. Majority people 9, 10. Next was
it's funny. It's like
7,
Primal. 8. As long as Primal's been around, 30K. That's all the people who voted on it.
Yeah,
it's just not that popular.
It's really not. Yeah.
Now the funny thing is actually, if you go through, gosh, this is pathetic. The last episode of season 3 actually rates really high.
That's terrible. It's all
9.2
nostalgia.
I can't believe how many people who watch this are suckered in by that garbage season.
Yep. Well, people like having the
wool
pulled over their eyes.
So many slurs in my mind over you people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were kind of talking about, Molly. R.I.P. to all the turtles I intentionally let be murdered, and then you ate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like you didn't actually facilitate their murder. Subconsciously, you knew it was happening, but you still really did it.
Like a turtle Nuremberg. Just like I was just following orders.
Yeah, I mean, he's the only person I know that's talking about it online. Like I said, I don't know if Badger has talked about it at all, but I'm assuming you just might have mentioned it here or there. But like that's a show I'm gonna be curious to see what sort of ratings come out at the end of the season. Which, not anticipating like super high numbers. I think if anything, people might compare it to like how many people watched Rebels, or maybe like the last season of Clone Wars. I don't know. Or you compare it to other Dave Filoni things like Ahsoka, which
I think all Dave Filoni Star Wars is garbage. All of it.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I haven't watched a ton of Clone Wars, but what I've watched, I was just like, this is what people fawned over? Seriously?
I think a good question would be like, like Ryan.
I think there was more good faith around Star Wars is probably what colored people's vision over it. But I'm like, I watched it thinking that people were right. Like, oh, okay, this will be good at least. And then I was like, No, what are y'all talking about?
For what?
This is the original Clone Wars show.
Oh,
I was like, I'm sorry,
it's a kid show.
I don't think it's good. I think it's kind of crap.
There were good elements in certain episodes, but overall, I mean, it's just a kid show. That's it. There's nothing more to take away from it. I think and I don't know, there's another person who just popped in my head, who I think knows a lot about the EU. To your point, Waylon, Ryan Kindle. Ryan Kindle knows a lot about the EU. He's actually like, he knows his shit. I don't know if he's even talked about it, and if he has, I don't know if it's been good. So that might be something else.
I'd be very surprised if he said anything good about it. I would guess he probably has brought the show up, but I doubt he has anything good to say about it.
Agreed. Exactly. Like the Mortis stuff, I think was good. Some of the decent parts, but
well, there's a lot of lore that they like Filoni was screwing with Star Wars lore.
Agreed, Waylon.
Way before people picked up on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was screwing with the lore a long time ago. There's a lot of crap that goes on in the Clone Wars that causes some major problems. I'm like, like I said, I think Filoni was getting a pass because of because there was relatively good faith still around Star Wars, and people were like, I think they were happy that the Clone Wars angle was getting expanded upon, but I think if you hate Star Wars now, as you should, because Disney has screwed it all, go back and watch it again, and it's like, oh boy, there were signs way back that Filoni was going to ruin this because he was kind of ruining things. There's a lot of stuff that if you line up the cartoon to the movies, a lot of stuff doesn't make sense. Like a lot. Like, because you have to believe that, because there's a lot of things that happen in the movies that are like, well, wait a minute, if he's supposed to have known this about this character by the time the movie happens, then why are they behaving this way? It's like it causes all kinds of problems. Clone Wars is a garbage show.
Yep. Solo lost money, Molly. Come on, what are you talking about?
I know what she's doing. I know.
You know what's great to eat, Molly? Turtles.
I like turtles.
I like turtles.
Molly is crying out from the chasm of Sar.
Not being fruitful. Let's see, who can we raid?
Phrasing. No.
Yeah. See, Bumo's playing.
Who can we raid against their will?
Yeah. Let's see, Bumo's playing Guilty
Oh, YouTube
Gear.
Shorts. Calm down. You can't show me Catherine Zeta-Jones and Mask of Zorro. Don't do that. Halfway through the sword fight.
Cole Hauser's playing a game.
That's Gooner material right there.
Chat, who do we want to raid? I'm surprised AG is not streaming on a Tuesday. Must be having to work for that money.
Cole Hauser is streaming. I see that.
Yeah, Cole.
He had Drinker on yesterday.
Nerd Wars.
Did he get over 1,000 in that stream? Yep, sure did. He got over 1,000. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's what we'll just raid Cole. Why not? Let's see what's up to him. Eats turtle out of shell. Does Ralph Wiggum? I'm helping. I'm helping. Look what I did. I ate my food. I mean, a little bit, but anyway. All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. You guys are awesome. Thanks for watching. And go say what's up to Cole Hauser for me. And we'll catch you Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday.
Good night.
Good night.